guys know it is Drunken Chat, son.
Hey, hello. This is Chitlins, Greens, and Cornbread coming to you from ComicCrusaders.com, and welcome to the It's Drunken Chat Son show. The rest of the gentlemen, they will be around pretty soon. They were shocked that we were getting started so early, but they will be. They gotta wake up, clean the crap out of their eyes, but they'll be along soon. Happy Easter to everybody. I hope you guys are having a lovely holiday and pastoral and Passover or whatever you got. Welcome to everybody that's hanging out with us this early. Uh, hey, here's one of my compadres right here, Blind Adam, the comic pick. Welcome, Adam. What's going on, brother?
Hey, not much. Sorry for being late for a minute. It's just
Late.
got the notification now.
No, late. Not late. No, we just started. I just started 30 seconds ago. The rest of the guys, they will be along quite shortly. They just gotta get ready, and they thought I was bullshitting when I said, "Hey, we're gonna try and start early."
Yeah, like I said, the notification caught me off guard.
Yeah. But look, it's not nothing gets the top 10. We both have really great information. I highly suggest that if you got a second screen, you definitely freaking, if you can, keep keep them up. If you can pop in and out and everything. Um, I definitely freaking give them a thumbs up and give them a listen
They're
anytime
awesome.
I can. Yeah. But what I definitely wanted to do was make sure that I went up after nearing Nirvana and the Comic Book Woman. They had a pretty good show. Um, or I don't know if they're still going, but I know
Yeah, they're still
they're always
going. That's where I was in the chat and I got the
ah
notification.
okay. Well, my apologies to those guys. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to go through the show and get absolute wasted. Um, and then be able to wake up sober enough for time to do my next podcast. Um, at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that's where we're at.
Ah,
That really is the key to me being effective at what I do.
so do they
Um,
have peat flavored whatever you're drinking?
they do not. That's probably a good idea. So what I'm drinking right now is the Costco special. It's called Rosada. It's a Moscato. It's a part of Italy. It's pretty darn good. If you want to get drunk, but you don't want that foul freaking whiskey freaking taste afterwards. So many is asking me, and this has been the question of the week. Do I have any Spider-Man 7s for sale? I do not. Um, so here's what happened. I ordered 357, and you guys literally watched me last week as I ordered another 100. Some of those came through. Um, I got the full total of what I was supposed to get ordered. Um, Now, I thank God that when you guys were pushing through your pull box orders, that I didn't take your money. I thank God for that. Um, and because once I got all the orders in and I counted through, thank God I was able to at least get my eBay orders through and my regular Shopify pull box orders through. I was able to fulfill those. But as far as the rest, yeah, those are bad down. So I had to put in a put in a replacement freaking thing. And there's also some other orders that I'm still waiting to see if they're going to fulfill. So we'll see. We'll see.
So a lot of them
But
came at damage, is what you're saying?
yeah, a lot of them were damaged. So what you got to understand is like anytime you see any type of Marvel book up there for 3.99, they're going to use the cheapest freaking material
Are
possible.
they gonna use that spider punk tissue fucking paper shit?
Yes, that's exactly what they used.
Damn.
Right. So it's
Oh man,
a,
like
a
I
high
said,
volume. Yeah, a high volume book for 3.99. So a lot of We're not just talking about uh bends. We're talking about crumples. right on some of these freaking corners. So that's where I was
Not
doing.
even
So
that's an insult to crumbles, man.
yeah. Hey, but here we go. We got Ultra Maximus in the house, willing to throw down and help us out. And freaking, he
What's
actually
up,
did.
everybody?
Ultra
Blind Adam, good to
Maximus,
see you,
what's up,
sir.
brother?
So, hey,
Uh,
what's up, Drunken Sharks? Everybody in the live chat here. Oh man, so yeah. So I didn't buy a single copy, not one. Didn't even make it to the comic shop.
is it because you didn't want to, or you just
Absolutely did not want to. You know, what's really funny is that in the last couple of months, I've really been turned off of market reports, and I've really been turned off of the big books of the week or whatever they are. God damn, I got an animal that's gonna break down this fucking door if I don't open it for her. I swear to God, these things are
What?
fucking crazy.
go
But
right
yeah,
ahead.
basically, you know, like, look, if you guys are buying this book, again, for me to be like, okay, that's a spec book I need, it needs to be a $4 flip that turns into $40. If it's not a $40 profit, it's not worth my time. So I'm not going to be the guy going out and chasing this $4 book to try to flip it for 20 on eBay and, you know, dealing with the undercutters and the packaging and all that other bullshit. I'm just going to sit back and watch the show. So we went second printing, and now we got a second print ratio incentive on the way, and it doesn't FOC until next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks worth of fucking spamming orders. Just think about this, okay? 2 weeks is a long time for the hype to die down, but they could be hyping that thing up, and it could be just nonstop. All right, give me 1 second.
I think
Won't
the
stop,
Ultra
won't
Pit's
stop.
in the studio, bro.
Yep. So it is what it is, and you know, from his first appearance, when he pulls up, he acts like he's already been a part of the Spider Verse, like he already knows her from somewhere. So it's quite possible, and I sent this out there last night, like, hey, this may not be that character's or whoever is Spider Boy's first appearance. That's the true question out there: is who is this Spider Boy? Um,
So, do we have the opportunity to spoil shit here? I haven't even read the book, but I've been kind of like lucky. I've been kind of lucky to guess on the premise of this shit. So, Spider Boy is the spider that bit Peter and Cindy, if you think about it, who mutated into a boy after he bit him.
that would be wild.
It's the reason. That's the reason why he's got the extra eyes, is because he was once a spider that mutated into a boy.
Mm.
That would make sense.
So
Mm.
this is the thing, though. Is he fodder? Because look, characters like this generally don't make it very long, and they sometimes are, you know, thrown in front of the shotgun when it's just time to fire.
Right. So the problem is right now, right? The whole context was there's Moreland and there's these other wasps. The wasps have been killing off some of the spider characters. I was like, okay, great. If you want to bring up all these freaking other spider characters and go wild with it, you gotta fucking kill them off, right? And they were doing that, but then this issue right here, they just brought all those crazy motherfuckers back.
Because hand wave. There was a few weeks ago when I got back from a mission late night, and I went Unabomber Ultra, and I went super based according to McClay, where I talked about derivative characters, bad editing, bad writing, alternate universes, and time travel. Like, these are the things that are being shoved on us constantly, and we don't have very many writers that are actually
down
giving
our throats.
good stories without the tropes of multiversal time travel and, you know, like, hand wave, everybody's back alive again. And this is again what I miss about Valiant. All right, and this is, everybody's like, well, Valiant sucks. Like, no, Valiant doesn't suck. Valiant just doesn't have a broad enough audience to really get people super interested into them the way that some of the books are. But Valiant always had the, you know, the ground that they said, look, if we kill a character, they stay dead. Like, that's where dead means dead. That's what Valiant's all about. So they did that, you know, with the first volume of Harbinger, and then they did it when they relaunched it in VEI too. They killed Flamingo, and everybody's like, "Holy shit, they killed her!" Like, because they basically decided to change it up a little bit from the previous incarnation. So we have a problem right now with them just being like, "Oh, let's just take two characters and put them together." Simple. And now we've got a new character, and they're doing it to death in the Spider-Verse. Now we got the end of the Venomverse or whatever it is coming at us too. And so if you guys watch my FOC show, I did FOC earlier today. There is the end of the Venomverse, and there is a push, and and this is again for Marvel, not really thinking. So they have a culturally appropriated Samurai Venom. And they're pushing the Samurai Venom hardcore in the first issue. He's on the Lanil Yu 1 in 50. He's on the Scotty Young variant. And it's a push for a different variation of Venom, but the Samurai.
Yes. It's because right. It's because they understand right now that manga and Asian culture is kind of hot right now. In fact, there's supposed to be a manga Wolverine, which is different from the other manga Wolverines and Ninja Wolverines that's out there. So that's what they're going for. So they think, oh, Asian ninja,
As long as he's not a dog.
Venom.
As long as he doesn't get written into a story as a straight up four-legged furry animal. Fucking Peach.
Come on, you don't want a poodle?
No,
Venom,
Peach Momoko
Venom
made
poodle?
Wolverine an actual dog. What the ever loving fuck?
Wait, what's this?
So
Yeah,
this is
the
like
Venom was the dog.
Momoko Demon Universe or whatever it is.
I never read any of those because
Okay, well, there's a reason probably for it, and it's because, I get creative liberty. And this is, again, that alternate universe here. I'm going to take an already existing storyline and I'm going to twist it and mold it to my way. And it's like, come on now. Like, can't you come up with anything original? I know some of y'all can come up with original stuff. And this is like how, again, all the reworking of contracts for these artists and writers to make sure that they give creative, royalties in perpetuity for their creations so that people get paid what they are worth when they are creating stuff for the House of Mouse and DC and whoever they're working for. I get that, right? So why are these people so afraid to make characters that aren't like a derivative? Because we've got everybody ripping off a previously already existing storyline character, getting their powers. And it's like, where is the growth? Where is the expansion? Where is the flat out good storytelling of a new character introduced without it having to be like Spider-Man kicked a bug in the timeline, creating the butterfly effect, which caused Kang to bounce off an acorn in the future, kicking Tony Stark's armor into the possession of this kid. And all of a sudden, he's the Iron Man of fucking 1 million BC. And it's like, what the fuck? Like there's I get you want to connect it to the Marvel Universe in some way, but can we do it with a new, fresh idea relevant to our times that doesn't upset 90% of your audience?
So they cannot. So first of all, so here was an interest. Let me get into the actual show. But before I get into the actual show, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's hanging out with us, despite the other two shows that are going on, near Nirvana and Hot Top 10. Thank you for hanging out with us. Welcome GT Comics. Welcome Manny the Collector. Eric's heard. I see your question. I will get to that eventually. Blood Sausage, Nicola and Corinne, hashtag what's C? That's interesting. Shinobi Fu, and Patrick Milano, and Dennis, Wonder World Comics. Hey, brother, if you want to freaking come on there, freaking let us know, and we'll find out how to get
shout
you
out
the
to Wonder
link.
World.
All right, so look, what have we been preaching about and talking about for the last year and a half? Just how Disney has been pivoting towards these woke freaking things. And then within the last couple months, they decided, hey, all these executives that were part of that, you know what? We don't freaking need them. Let's get rid of them. There was a very interesting documentary that actually came out this week. Okay. It's called The Pope Answers. It's currently on Hulu, part of the Disney Plus roll up. Um, and it was wild.
It's called The Pope Answers.
The Pope Answers. So unfortunately, Adam, um, they all talk in Spanish. Okay. The subtitles are in English, but unfortunately they all talk in Spanish, right? Because and they almost had to, right? Because of all they brought these teenagers from different freaking countries, Senegal, Rome, um, and Nia, I believe. They brought them from all over the place. A lot of the places that do have people that speak Spanish, so they could talk to the Pope, and that was one of the common language that he does have. And welcome to the house, Ninth Wonder. How's it going, brother?
He's got a mute. He's crunching on some cereal or some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. So I'm gonna keep talking about this, um, and then we'll get into the rest of you guys. So here's why, Adam, you're gonna freaking love this. Unfortunately, like I said, they only speak in Spanish.
Maybe I can find
They,
an audio description.
yeah, they went into some crazy subjects, right? These are like 16 to like 22-year olds, and they let these motherfuckers run wild. Um, you, this is the Pope. This is the Grand Pappy, right? This is the guy, despite whether your religion, your ethic, this is the guy that has the ears of several world leaders, right?
Yeah, but he's no battle pope.
Oh no. He's not the guy that's getting ready to freaking, that has a full on army with tanks and that shit ready to fucking go in. But so he let him go on and ask everything, right? Whether it be about abortion rights, about binary people, gay people, um, about the pedophilia and all and the rape and everything that's been going on in church. He let him go on and he did his best to answer those questions, right? A great big piece of that was talking about the non-binary stuff, the gay stuff, and that was important for Disney and Marvel going forward, right? Because a big part of their growth, they think, has been inclusion of the LGBTQ, right? So that's probably why this is showing up there. So whereas a lot of people out there that are against that agenda are saying, well, in my religion, blah blah blah. Well, this is the Grand Pappy. This is the dude that has all the books in the vault. So, and he was saying, well, I'm not God. I'm not the one that's going to condemn anybody to hell. I don't have the role to kick anybody out. Well, which is kind of false because he does have the role to excommunicate anybody that goes against the church teachings.
So I was going to just ask what happened to excommunication, man.
Right. But he was saying like I don't have it. Like we gotta freaking accompany these people. We gotta bring them into freaking church. Allow them to be there. So he kind of flipped the script with this documentary. It's not getting as much play as I think it should be, which is really interesting. Now, what was really interesting, Adam, is that one of the young ladies, I think she was from Argentina. She has an OnlyFans, right? And she talked about, hey, Pope, I make my living doing this, and I got creepy guys in there, and that's just the way I make my living. He didn't really say anything. He was just like, hey, you do what you got to do, sister.
And that's coming from God's go-to guy.
Yeah, where he went it.
I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't say God's go-to guy, but he's definitely the Catholic Church guy.
Well, yeah, he's so I mean,
Well, for all the
part of the
Hey,
church
I was
teaching.
born
Look,
Catholic. I just
I'm
converted to
somebody
Judaism.
who was raised Catholic, so I get it. But this right here,
It was wild. So yeah, so where he did go in on it is saying, hey, when it comes to things like masturbation and all that other stuff, he was saying, well, um, sex is a beautiful thing, and anything that distracts from that natural act, is corruption,
I want
right?
to say I told you so.
Yeah. So he didn't go in or say that she was bad. He was just saying that all these people that are using this, and instead of using it as a way to be with your wife, because that was always the church teachings as I grew up in the Catholic high school that I was in the Catholic church that I was in. They said that certain materials are okay as long as you're using it inside a marriage, and they're called marital aids. So that was one thing, right? Um,
Making
so that was
excuses for shit is what that sounds like to me.
eh,
But okay.
That's
that was what it was
30%
like.
of the Catholic religion is making excuses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I recognize that, as I got older, and I was like, wait, so you just do bad shit and then ask for forgiveness every Sunday?
You damn
Man, this-
right, sir.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was very clear from the angles that they were using on her what he was what she was there for. She was there to be a piece of eye candy, because who does that, man? Who goes there with their tits out to go talk to their local priest? This is the
Hey,
Pope, and she went out there
do
with
you
like
guys
a tank
know
thing.
that it's all based on the Vatican means the divining serpent?
He talks about how the church is called La Iglesia, which is La is the feminine. So he actually that was really interesting, right? Because back years ago, I don't even remember Dan Brown and the Da Vinci Code, and a big part of that was they were talking about how a big part of the church was the masculine versus the feminine, and the church was the feminine. That was like a driving thing. So the Pope talked to that. He was like, "Hey, it's La Iglesia in the church, and you can't ki- kill the feminine part, and the feminine women are a big important part of the church." Now they didn't. The women in that thing they didn't like what they heard, right? Because they specifically asked them, "Hey, will at any point a woman be in your position?" He's like, "No." He's like, "No, no, you're killing me. Nah, no fucking way, right? There's no men are the only ones that are supposed to be part of the ministry." But he did interestingly say he's like, for you, women have their roles in church, and for you to think that is any lesser than the men who are ministers is ridiculous, right? Women have just as important role in the church, and they won't be part of the ministry anytime soon. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Joe Forsyth says, "Hey Lisa, I don't know who Lisa is." Ronan Kane, welcome, welcome, welcome. Daniel Copestick, welcome, welcome. Welcome everybody that's hanging out with us. We're just bullshitting for the first few. But hey, freaking long time no fucking see. Oh, he's stepped away for a little bit, but yeah. So yeah, he's a good poet. Yeah, he's definitely he's definitely clarifying a lot of stuff that has just been out there. Like usually, um, there's just a tongue that's out there, and they're just out there saying shit. Whereas he has gone out in his sermons and said the shit, right? And then by the time it reaches the newspapers, it gets weakened down.
Hey yo, we got somebody backstage.
Uh,
Yeah.
right.
I've been back there like 20 minutes. I mean, y'all watching pro A. I'm like,
You've been knocking, man. You've been knocking a long time, man.
I'm
It
like,
was
shit,
below.
I
It
get
was
on?
below, so I couldn't see.
I didn't see the private chat. My bad, man.
I'm
I have
like,
the
I
YouTube
don't
chat
want to
window on top of
interfere.
the-
I'm like, Lucas is on the road right now. I don't want to mess up his groove. But damn, can the fella get off? What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's
What's
going
up
on,
there,
Remo?
Remo? And of course, Ninth Wonder.
But look, man, freaking, it's great to freaking see you guys. We haven't seen ninth in a while. He always says
Yeah,
during the week he'll say, "Hey, I'm gonna be here," but then he still hasn't kind of
He
he
ain't
has
that
yeah
corporate life.
that
he hasn't
Sometimes
mastered that
the
dad
old
nap
man
yet.
status catches up to all of us. Okay, it's acceptable. We're all parents.
That corporate life get a hold of you.
man.
Like, shit.
Look, I be out like a light, out like a light. Man, I'll be gone, man. But I just called Remo yesterday because I'm shooting out to Cali in May, and I'm gonna hang out with Remo. So Remo, I
Hey,
think
it's gonna be my birthday weekend, so we finna turn up. It's finna be on the top.
Remo, Remo, I think is the last person that I haven't seen in person from the OG Drunken Chat crew. I mean, from our main, core. Um,
What you got there, Remo?
You know what? I don't think I ever met Lucy in person either. So, man,
Got that Spider-Man 7s.
My LCS, he said I knew you would want 2, so I set aside 2 for you.
But did you read it?
I just got it maybe an hour, maybe a couple hours ago, and then I got a PS5, so I've been trying to set that up. So,
oh damn,
Nice.
good.
So that corporate life really has been treating Remo okay. You know what I mean?
Now I've been putting it off, man. And my wife and my daughter were like, "Just get one," and I kept putting it. We've been talking, in the chat, and I've been putting it off. And my daughter was like, "Dude, just buy it. It's at Costco. Just grab one."
You got it at
My wife
Costco.
ain't be bothered with it because the kid got a Switch.
She's got 2 of them, man, and she's like,
we got the video games covered in the house for a good while, so we don't need a PS5.
Yeah, my daughter was like, she's got 2 Switches, and she was like, "Dad, just buy one and we can play together." I'm like, "You got 2 Switches? Can I borrow one of yours?" Like,
one of them doesn't work.
She's like, "It doesn't work." I'm like, "Yeah,
What?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
It worked. You just wanted that special edition one. It was an excuse to butter moms up for the special edition.
So speaking of special edition Switches, you guys seen the new Zelda limited edition that's coming?
Yep. Can't wait.
Yep, we actually covered that last week.
It's a Switch.
Actually, I'm
Right.
gonna be pre-ordering that.
So not only is it a Switch, there's going to be a controller and a limited edition variant of the game.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep that low because she's in the room. So
Right.
Well, I think pre-orders already happened, so you might have already missed the window.
Right.
what was the one that you showed, Lucas? Like 2
that
weeks
was
ago?
That's
yeah,
the
it
one
was,
he's talking-
it was
the
that
one
one.
I'm talking about.
It was $69.99 out the gate, and now it was up to $200.
$69.99.
Yeah, it was up to $200. I haven't checked what it was at this week
Yeah.
because the big news was talking about Mario Brothers. I haven't had a chance to grab the data out of that yet, but yeah, man,
I forgot about Mario Brothers, but there was something at Costco because the guy, when I was getting my PlayStation, there was somebody in front of me, and they had Mario Kart or something, but it was, I don't know if it was Super Mario World, so they were selling that there too. So they got it all covered. They getting all your money this spring.
Speaking of my poor little kid, man, it's a school day today, right? We woke up
today. He had to go to school today.
No, well, he was supposed to go to school today, but he got sick this morning, and kind of got sick on himself. So we had to let him stay home, and the wife called out. She stayed home too. So I was like, all right, sweet. I got to go back to bed for a few hours this morning, which was great because you guys know I worked at late shift. So
I've been working from home all week.
We were worried that he wasn't going to be well enough because my wife went ahead like 2 fucking days ago and bought tickets to see Super Mario Brothers tonight with one of his friends, my buddy, and his girl. So it was going to be 6 of us. Well, we rented out a row, basically, and he was well enough to go see it tonight, which was great. And it's a good movie. There's some dark stuff in it. That little blue star, man, he just says some ill shit throughout the whole movie, but it's comedy. And they make Princess Peach look a little thick riding a motorcycle. So just be on the lookout for that.
Nice.
Maybe we'll go check it out, man.
It's worth seeing. But they do intentional angles of Princess Peach, so you're like, bro, what are you doing here?
That's why he was risking it all, man. He was
yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's definitely some funny stuff in there, and apparently, a lot of the Donkey Kong jokes didn't make it. Like apparently, Seth improvised a whole bunch of them, and whatever. But definitely a good movie. Definitely, it's safe. Other than that, there's a few things like if you can get over the very dark and disparaging tone that this one creatures talk about, just dying and sweet release of death and shit like that. Like, it's dark, man. Like, but it's funny because it's coming from a little like blue star creature just sitting there floating around. And there you go. Second
Super Mario Brothers
all-time record opening for Illumination. Wow. I can understand why the theater was practically sold out tonight, and it's it's Friday. The movie opened on Wednesday though, so it's got a little bit of an advantage. But it's an Easter weekend, extended weekend. So man,
See,
they're
that's
probably
the
gonna
thing,
crush it.
right? All the kids are out of school. I don't know what type of heathen school you got your kid going to.
Hey,
Ultra.
my daughter
Yeah,
had to go.
school
She
in
had to
I'm
go,
smart,
but
Good
man.
Friday.
You have to
No,
just
because
just
some
man,
schools
the-
did
the
the
break 2
break
weeks ago.
the week after Easter Sunday, though.
Yeah,
I
that's
had, to,
spring break
I had to work. Shit,
months
I
ago,
mean,
man.
I had to work, so they wasn't. I used to one. I forget what company I work for, but we used to have Good Friday off every year, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like at the discretion of the company. If they're not Catholic, they not fooling with it.
Shit, I mean, man, it's this
I
is
got
one of
Monday
those-
off though. I got Monday off.
Yeah, see, but it's crazy that they didn't even think about that because this is one of those years, one of those rare years where you got Passover, which is the Jewish holiday, plus Ramadan,
Mhm.
plus freaking Good Friday and Easter, all in the freaking happening,
Yeah,
all in
because
the same
Passover
week.
started Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So for them to say not say, oh well, maybe we need to freaking bring it down and freaking shut down operations for a little bit. Nah, they was like, nah, we're gonna go ahead and have school. My kid's school freaking shut down. But if they get if my school if we could shut down because it's freezing rain, sure enough we can freaking shut down for this. But yeah, Super Mario Brothers, $195 million to 5 freaking days.
2 post-credit scenes.
3
So
day and
one
5 day
mid-credit scene and 1 post-credit scene.
It
A lot of
beat
people
the
left.
really.
They had one.
Let's see, but see the problem with that is that I can't be sitting around for 3 fucking hours already, right? You go to an AMC, which like I love the fact that AMC has that fucking ticket pass shit, right? Which is you get to see 3 movies a week for at least a month, right? So that's like 12 movies you can see. But then you get to the fucking theater. If you get there on time, you're going to sit through a half an hour of previews and fucking bullshit, fucking trailers, and then the fucking movie fucking starts.
Yeah, I might go to the drive-in, man. I don't think I'm gonna go to AMC for that one.
Well, I hope you have a good drive-in because like
As long as it ain't raining.
yeah, the drive-in we're at, you gotta get in early, man.
Yeah, no, yeah, you definitely got to get in there.
You still got to get in there half an hour early.
Yeah.
Just so you can get that fucking good spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But see, this one they show 2 movies, so you get the regular movie, and then you'll get like a movie that might be like a couple weeks old, like a month or 2 old.
What 4 hours worth of driving, man? They intentionally trying to kill batteries out there.
Right? Now I be turning my shit on. I'm spooked of that, man. I got AAA, but still, man.
Yeah,
I
got
was turning it on and off. Now you know why it's 4 hours. Why they have the 2 movies, man, is so you can go there and
yeah,
and get your drink and smoke on. You know what I mean? That's what the drive-in for, and get your freak on. And get your freak on over in the corner if you were in the non-kid days. You know what I'm saying? You go get your freak on up in the drive-in.
I mean, let's see what's gonna be. But I mean, look, it was a really interesting week. There were several conventions happening. There was some Star Wars news happening
last weekend myself, so it's all right.
Let's talk about it though, man. How y'all been liking the Mandalorian? Have you guys been watching it?
Man, I love the Mandalorian.
And I think it's same old shit, but it's some good stories, man. I can't.
And you know what, man? I'm all about it because it's a simple story that I know that other people can follow along. Yeah. You don't really need to watch hours upon hours upon hours of Star Wars in order to follow it. Yeah. And so far, the Mandalorian lore is just super, super cool. But I did come across something here today on just while I was doing the slides for the show today. I had playing in the background. There's a YouTube video that's like an hour long, and it's a complete history of Bo-Katan, and it talks about everything that happened from her in all of the Star Wars Rebels episodes and the Clone Wars tie-ins and shit like that. all the way up until now, and where she hits the Mandalorian. So I think it's pretty cool because it does talk about her age, and it talks about how she's probably like in her 50s. Her character is probably in her 50s
in the series now.
Yeah.
But before you go further, I gotta ask if anybody peeped, since you guys all watched the show, right? When Mando got he got taken hostage, right, by that robot thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He dropped the dark saber, right?
Yep.
And she's fighting with that dude, right? She gets knocked down. And what did she do? How did she retain the dark saber? Did she not force it to herself?
No, she used the lasso, man.
Did she lose the lasso, or did she just put her hand up and it came to her?
No, she used the lasso.
Okay.
She's an expert with that, and that's actually some of the things that they show is that her trainer, the guy that she was in second command of, went toe to toe with Darth Maul. And he was just a human who did not use force. So she's been trained by some of the best, and she still shows that combat readiness. You know what I'm saying? Like she's badass. But here's some of the things I bet you a lot of people didn't see. When Mando tries lifting the darksaber, it's heavy to him.
Yes, it is.
And it's hard for him to wield. And when she picks it up, it's like fucking second nature to her.
Yeah, it's nothing to her.
And that's why she wrecked shop with that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. We got something coming, man.
We do, but we're already at episode 6, and I think there's only 2 more episodes this season.
Oh no, it's more to come. There's more to come.
There's only 8 episodes this season.
It's always 8, right?
Yeah, I think it's been 8 episodes each season. So.
But that's the thing. Like, they got more story and lore they can keep going. You know what I mean?
But, all right. So, with The Mandalorian, everything being set up in Mando is great. But have you guys seen all of the stuff? So, we got the Ahsoka trailer today.
Mm-hmm.
That was dope. So, we got some badass Sith that are going to be coming up in that. And then we had news breaking from Star Wars Celebration that that Daisy Ridley will be playing, the new Jedi stuff. She's going to be rebuilding the Jedi Order.
So that's the thing. Like, there's so many stories they can tell. Like, Star Wars, it won't die, man. It's not going to go away.
Well, remember, she's Rey Skywalker.
It will be. So you got to think of like how unenthusiastic we were before this, right? We everybody was hyped for a good few months, and then all of a sudden we stopped giving a fuck because they were making all these announcements, and none of those announcements included Dr. Aphra or Thrawn, right? But now we got some hints that Thrawn is coming back, in whether it be animation or whatever, which is fine, but. They're not going to freaking capture everybody's imagination with this Rogue One shit. And I know there's some Star Wars fans like, oh, I fucking love fucking Rogue One and I love Andor, but for the greater family thing, nobody gives a fuck about those. So hopefully,
but those stories we know the beginning and end to. Like, I'm talking about the stories like that are still being written, like that you can kind of jump into, and because of the lore that will take off. Because, like, Andor, like, he's gonna die. Like, you know what I mean? It's hard to invest in characters are they're you already know what their outcome. They're dead.
gotta remember, nobody dies anymore in the Star Wars universe, right?
So Palpatine is a villain again.
Right. Everybody, because the Empire now has the ability to clone anybody he.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
We're sort of like in an X-Men type cloning.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They fucking die, but they can clone anybody they want.
And I think that's why they had that doctor on it.
The James Mangold from Logan is going to be directing The First Jedi. Oh. Okay.
But what I'm saying is that that's why they sprinkled that doctor in the Mando series. Remember, he's still trying to continue his his
research, his
his
cloning
research.
research, because that's basically like the cloning research that they eventually get to, to the Palpatine, and Palpatine obviously has been cloning Snoke, but I don't know why you can't give Snoke a clean clone body, man. You got to give him all the disfigured ones and basically live through Snoke, right? Because Snoke is a clone of Palpatine that just went wrong, but there's hundreds of copies of him for whatever fucked up reason, and the cloning tech, obviously. If you watch, what is it, the Bad Batch, you see what happens. They get, they go to Camino and they wipe out all the cloning facilities, and there's some wild stuff going on over there too. And this is what I love. There's bits and pieces to really connect a lot of the dots, but you don't have to watch everything. But I think Mandalorian is going to be all about establishing the Mandalorian people, not just the Mandalorian himself. Not just Din Djarin. Like Din Djarin is the Mandalorian; he's the main character, but it's revolving around everything that he does with his work with Katie, obviously being the Princess Bo-Katan, and bringing all of the Mandalorian people back together, giving them a home, reestablishing the Mandalorian order, and basically putting the Mandalorians back in place in the galaxy as people not to be fucked with, but people you can go to if you need help.
Exactly. And that's what I like about it. But see, and that's the thing. You can tell the story of Mandalorians with that lore, just like Jedi. And there's other Mandalorians that can serve purpose in other movies and be badass, and you know what I mean, that people are gonna like. And
exactly,
it's almost like ninjas. You know what I mean? When we were growing up, how ninjas were. If you'd seen a ninja in the movie, that you knew he was gonna be the shit. You know what I mean?
But I will say this: I want to know what happens when a human being touches Coruscant. Remember? No, don't touch it. Like he was about to touch the mountain, and like
yeah. Right.
I'm thinking something electrical happens because I think Coruscant is like the reason why all of that technology is there. I think it's all being powered by the planet. I think the planet itself
like
is
like Krakoa, right?
Yeah, something like that. So I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that's going on there. But yeah, that did everybody watch the trailer?
I seen a little bit. Yes.
Yeah.
I hate trailers.
Yeah, I hate them too.
No, I just want to see it. Like,
Yeah. It's like so the problem with trailers nowadays is that you see too much of it, and by the time you see the fucking movie, you're like, oh yeah, I remember this fucking trailer. There's no
So-
that's the exact date.
so is Fett coming back too, though?
Fett?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or is it-
yeah. I mean, he's over there in Tatooine running the show. And if you saw in Mando season 3, Homegirl asked if Mando's coming back to take out Boba Fett.
Right.
He's like, no, I'm not here for that. Like, so I don't know if Boba Fett's doing bad news or anything like that, but we'll see what happens. Because didn't the actor who plays Boba Fett sign a multi-deal contract or something?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not going to just stop with Mando. It's going to keep going.
No.
I mean,
They're doing with the Disney universe or with the Star Wars universe what Marvel was trying to do with the MCU as far as having shows take place in between the movies and connecting the stories and things like that. But here it is. Daisy Ridley will play Jedi Master running a new Jedi Academy in the film set 15 years after the sequel trilogy. Well, there you go.
like there was too much stuff. It's like even the Jedi that saved Grogu. It's like you got to talk about him now. You know what I mean? Like, who is he? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of like stuff, like stories. Like they can do short films. You know what I mean? On Disney Plus, like they can do so much and tell stories. They just gotta want to do it and have the money to do it. Basically, the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so Adam Erickson in the chat brings up a really good point because, and everybody missed this, the empire that actually came and bombed Bo-Katan's castle, that was Thrawn. That was Thrawn's interceptors because and Mando even said it. These interceptors are different than regular TIE fighters. And that's because Thrawn's fleet, they are something else.
Yeah, they left nothing to be recovered. They came to destroy.
And then
I'll leave an enemy behind.
You saw when they were like, chasing the few of them that were left, and they ran into a whole bunch of backup. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
shit. So, and then he's right. And Sabine will join forces. Sabine, years and years and years ago, gave her the dark saber, or tried to give her the dark saber. So that was like Sabine could have helped avoid, or Bo-Katan could have helped avoid all the Moff Gideon shit had she taken the dark saber from Sabine Wren all those years ago, instead of letting Moff Gideon take over and take that shit from Mandalore. So there's a lot of, there's so much like in the Bo-Katan story that's like kind of like self pain because of her desire to adhere to, the code and stuff like that, and like the honor of being a Mandalorian and things like that. And she watched her superior die at the hand of Darth Maul, and her sister got killed by Darth Maul as well. And her sister was the love of Obi-Wan. So there's so much connection, like the little like somebody on IG, it was a Comic Book Andy was talking about how good is Mandalorian season 3, and some people don't get the spaghetti western is all the different strings that come out of the plate, man, and like it just goes in so many different directions, but it's still all there on the plate, all connected, part of the meal.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm happily enjoying it. Even my fuck, he's every episode he's got to do something to get something. You know what I mean? But they're enjoyable in this one because he's got Bo-Katan with him. That's like, you know what I mean? It's like good cop, bad cop. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they got away from that trope after season 1 a little bit, but that's.
But you know what I mean? It was
like every planet they had to eat something, and Baby Yoda was eating something.
Right.
Baby Yoda eats too much, man.
Oh no, Baby Yoda drank all the milk.
Right.
All right. Hey. Hey, I want to put this out there. So, if you live in the Texas area and you would like to represent Drunken Chat Son at the next Diamond Retailer Summit,
nice.
Hit me up. Let me know. We've got a couple of spots available, so I can send you an invoice. Now, here's what happens at these Diamond retailers. They give you a lot of insider information as far as what's going on with Diamond going forward, and they fucking feed you, right? They give you the first night. They go to like Chili's, or I forget where we went. Oh no, we went to the Hard Rock Cafe. That night, you get to hobnob with everybody, with all the freaking retailers and with the actual Diamond people, and do a little karaoke. And then the second day, they give you breakfast, lunch, and freaking dinner. And dinner was freaking, pretty damn good. There's a whole bunch of freaking auctions. I got a $400 fucking statue for like $30, if I remember correctly. And then whatever freaking not retailer, but a comic convention that's out there, you get free passes, like free VIP passes to that event. So if you're interested, if you're interested, just hit me up and I'll try and get you guys hooked up.
Excuse me,
what's the date?
Yeah, Lucas. Yeah, definitely. I'll be up in there, man.
I fucking forget, but you're gonna want to do it this week, within the next couple of weeks, because there's different pricings on it, right? If you do it this week or the next week, there's that early bird special pricing. If it's after that, then it gets a little bit more pricier. So I just want to put that out and like give everybody some time to get their shit together.
Like Adam Erickson is saying, like that's definitely,
yeah,
in that order.
Now I know I don't really give a fuck about Harry Potter, right?
How dare you?
I don't give a damn about Harry Potter.
Just kidding. Harry Potter's a Star Wars ripoff.
Harry Potter is a Magic the Gathering ripoff.
No. The story of Harry Potter is the same thing as Star Wars. The comic relief ends up taking the girl from the main character because, well, in Star Wars' case, he finds out it's his sister, and he was taken by the old bearded man to be hidden. And then the old bearded man comes back and brings him back into the fold. And I saw something that was like unbelievably parallel between the two of them. And basically, Harry Potter is Star Wars for nerds who don't like Star Wars.
Merlin and King Arthur, Moses and Moses and the other good
Obi-Wan.
stories. But yeah. But yeah, so they are going to do a TV series based off of the books because so, people love the movies. However, some of the complaints were, hey, you know how there is like really in some books there's some details that never make it to the movies because of time. Well, there's a lot of details that are in the books that would have made the shit actually freaking make sense. So HBO Warner, or excuse me, Warner Discovery has decided, you know what, let's go ahead and make the TV series out of it. The problem I don't know is that can you get any actors or actresses that will make us love them the same way that the movies did? I just don't know that.
No, and by replacing the actors, they're going to alienate a lot of their audience, and there's going to be a lot of people like this stupid remake sucks, man.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
good luck, HBO.
So Fan Expo is June 9th, so right before that. Harry Potter is fine to capture a unique space that needs to be filled. You can see relations between Star Wars and a bunch of other RPG type stuff like LOTR and Elder Scrolls. I guess I'm probably the only one that actually went to see Dungeons and Dragons. And let me tell you, that shit was fucking fire. All right. Um, the stuff that was built up in Stranger Things, with like the upside down world and all the red vines and everything, they definitely took that shit. Is that, hey, these are the concepts that people know from Stranger Things. Let's bring them into this and harp on those and make sure that people understand that's a focal point, so people can understand what world we're building going forward. And it's definitely going to get a freaking part two, right? Um, so I don't know if we need anything else other than what we got now, because we got House of Dragons that's out there. Dungeons and Dragons was fire. Everything else that we're in this fantasy world stuff like Willow and the remake of the LTR on Amazon, that shit fucking failed. That shit flopped like a motherfucker. Um, it wasn't bad, but it was just freaking nobody gave a fuck about it. So as we're going off of the superhero, because look, let's get it straight. Superhero genre is fucking dying. Nobody, nobody outside of us gives a fuck about these superhero movies and everything. They barely care about the freaking Star Wars things. So Dungeons and Dragons did a perfect showing of what they should be going for, because it's not just fantasy bullshit. There was a lot of fucking jump scares and fucking monsters and shit and that shit. That shit was fucking scary. So that shit was freaking awesome. So I think that's where they should be concentrating on going. Um, and E says he hasn't seen Dungeons and Dragons yet. I highly recommend it, and don't skimp out. Right, get you go to the theater with the freaking speakers and shit, and make sure you get in the
Now
fucking
wait.
middle and shit.
I got some Dungeons and Dragons gripes.
Okay.
Right?
It's not about the movie. It's about the people who own the rights to the game, aka Wizards of the Coast. I want you guys to understand what I'm about to tell you very clearly is stupidity controlling what we can do as a society. So Wizards of the Coast, who have the Dungeons and Dragons rights to put out the game, have declared they are going to be removing mixed race from the game. So you can no longer have a half elf, half human. You can no longer have a half human, half whatever. Any mixed races are deemed racist by that. Yeah, I'm shaking my head to it too, man. I'm
What
like,
the
That's like
fuck?
the whole point of part of the game was
thank you.
was to be able to like mix somebody and be like, I got the ultimate player now, you know?
Yeah, I want a half elf, half warlock that's going to be a gangster motherfucker and go in there
With both aspects from both race that can, you know.
This was one of the best parts of the game, but they're removing that component from it because of wokeness.
Well,
you can't have nothing nice no more.
Nope.
It's over. So what do we do? Do we just continue to say "F you"? I'm gonna build my character the way I'm gonna.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do.
That's
And
what I'm
as long
doing.
as the dungeon master is allowing it, then
So whoever's in these Dungeons and Dragons forums, make sure you keep the character sheet with that extra space for
yeah.
the race selections and allow your characters to be multi-raced, mixed race, because that's how the game has always been played as far as I remember.
Yeah, that was the main part, was trying to mix them up.
It's been that way since the late 70s, I thought.
Same with what's the game? Well, no, you couldn't do it in War. Wow.
Oh, see, there it is. Yeah, inherently racist is what the words that their executives are using for their reasoning behind this one.
Did they say why it's inherently racist?
Because they're half, man. You're only half a man.
Right. We are not.
God.
Frankly, we are not. It says frankly, we are not comfortable, and haven't been for years with any of the options that start with half. And that's it. That's all
Everything is
it
racist.
Yeah, I'll just base like you said. I'll just base it off the old books. It said I could. That's what I'm going off of.
Oh, man.
Everyone wants to know what I really think about this. Watch Awesome Sauce Radio on Tuesday night, where I can rant and rave, and it's my channel that will get snapped up this one.
Go at him with your bad self.
Yeah. So
All right.
so anybody that goes out to the the diamond retailer out in Texas on behalf of us has to bring that up. Like why? Because Wizards of the Coast will be there.
Oh, really now?
Yeah. So you're gonna have to,
What's the name of this convention? Because I'll book flights and I'll let you know.
yeah, that's
Because
crazy.
All right, so
I learned
something
when I
you have to
learned how to
understand.
handle diamond retailers from Dennis.
You guys have to remember where Wizards of the Coast is based. And I have a friend who used to work at one of the local comic shops who actually left the comic shop to go work for them. They're based in Washington State. So I bet you somebody threatened their ESG score with something stupid and said they had to do this.
Yeah, but are they just saying you can't mix orcs and elves?
No, all races. Like you can't have a mixed race character. Period is what they're trying to say.
Says who though? They're not. I mean, come on, these aren't sanctioned game. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I mean, tournaments might be the tournaments.
That's what I'm saying. They're trying to
I
take it
got
out so that this way, any advantages you might have from being multi-race, God forbid you experience a mutation and gain an unfair advantage from that mutation. You know what I mean? Like, God.
They've been doing that for years, man.
I know, man, but this is it's now gotten to the point where it's permeated into everything and making the good shit stupid.
Yeah, they're just tripping right now.
So yes, when you guys all go to that Texas show, let them know how stupid they are. I will.
Tell them nobody's gonna buy their shit.
Did Dennis go to sleep? He might have gone to sleep. He had a rough day.
Where's Mr. Wonderworld when we need him?
You're right. Dennis is the spirit animal we need on this one, I think.
We have this picture of the Diamond corporate offices when it comes to those events.
Say what now?
I said, doesn't his reputation precede him at those events, though?
He goes to like.
I'm sure that the Diamond office has a picture up on a dartboard somewhere.
Yeah, they got his shit at the front door. Like, dude, security, do not let this motherfucker through the front door. Do not give him an all-access pass.
Okay, so the retailer summit is from June 7th through Friday, June 9th, which is just ahead of the Fan Expo Dallas, which is set to run from June 9th through June 11th. So if you go to the
both.
yeah, that's basically the reason, right? You would hit up you would be there for the Diamond Comic Distribution Retailer Summit to the 9th to 11th, and then you get free tickets and free VIP access to the expo, which is 2 days later. 2 days later. So here we go. Batman, Detective Comics number 27, first appearance, recently sold for $1.74 million.
What grade?
Didn't say, but I will find that out.
Is this the
soon.
Heritage auction?
Yes. So
I mean,
Was it graded or was it a raw book that sold for that
I
much?
believe it was graded.
but that's
Now-
telling you what's selling, what's actually, commanding the big.
I just don't know if I got freaking $1.74 million in the seat cushions and the couch cushions to fucking go ahead and chase that shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly, Dennis. I was going to say, I guess my daughter would cease to exist. Huh?
Oh, we got a reply from Dennis. Oh, and it's typical Dennis Scorcher.
I was waiting for him to say because I felt the same way.
Woo. And then Adam said, "Ain't no orc smashing a dwarf on my watch."
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Shit, Dennis Kids is mixed, so I knew he was gonna be hot about that.
All right. So once again, it was an interesting week, right? The big book this week that a lot of people were chasing, and have been chasing for the last 2 months, right? Since we actually been talking about it. After the Dan Slott tweet, was that Spider-Man #7. Now they've made the announcement that there's going to be a second print for that has a 1 in 25.
That's
Okay.
Reselling because everybody just eating this one up, man.
Yeah.
But go on with your bad selves, all right? You're gonna turn that $4 into $20. Okay.
So yeah, it basically dominated the first 5 spots. Bundles with those Disney 23, those Disney 100s. That's got like the 3rd or 4th spot. Heat Seeker Gun Honey, excuse me, #1. It's each kind of eking up there. Joker Uncovered #1. So, and there's a Lee Bermejo joint that's out there, and it looks very similar to this other Joker joint that's out there. It's the one with the kid sitting on Santa Claus's lap, but Santa Claus is actually Joker. It looks very similar, but it's not the same thing.
No, but you know how these artists be doing nowadays. They be reusing their old stuff to make new stuff. This is where Bermejo kind of got caught up on being caught on that, and not many people called him out on it just because they like his art. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Then you got the Dead by Daylight #1. There are several covers out there, but the one that I think people are paying attention to is the Towel. Marvel Voices Spider-Verse #1. There's that one's coming out this week. There's the cover A by John Jing, but there's also a 1 in 50. It's a 1 in 50 or 1 in 25. I forget which one it is.
It's a 1 in 50 because, man, it's an expensive 1 in 50 because that cover price on that book is not cheap.
And you know that the freaking paper on that shit is going to be
garbage.
Cheap, yeah, it's going to be fucking garbage.
Go ahead. It's going to be toilet paper.
It's an insult to toilet paper.
I will say that Spider-Man 7 paper is trash.
Yeah. So people are like, "Oh man, I freaking got my copies." Oh, after getting it, and then you're going to send it back out to the freaking CGC. Make sure you package it really carefully as much as you can. Because I'm going to be very shocked if there's going to be a lot of 9/8 because people are chasing it, but not every copy that every store has on their shelves right now is going to be a freaking 9/8. Sorry.
That's how it is sometimes. It's how it be.
You definitely got to press it.
Fantastic Four #6. That's that Alex Ross. I don't know why it's going crazy. I got to figure out. There's got to be something going on inside this book that people are going crazy for this book. But it's up there. The Amazing Spider-Man #23. That's the Infinity Gauntlet homage. That for Disney 23. Spider-Man #8. I'm guessing people are kind of chasing that one because maybe it should be the second appearance of Spider-Boy. Edge of Spider-Verse #3. And then the free comic book day 2023 Avengers X-Men #1. That's coming out as well. And then just on periphery, I'm looking at Batman #135. #134 comes out this week. I think that should be interesting because usually, like I told you, anytime I start getting shipments late, is because I've got something hot in there and they want to hold out as long as possible before they freaking ship it to me, so that I don't have the freaking time to freaking open it up, read the shit, and fucking spoil the fucking shit. So just I gotta let I don't have any fucking books. Actually, no, I don't have any DC books this week. I do have my Marvel, some of my Marvel books this week though. But yeah, man, freaking interesting stuff.
Y'all are really. There's a lot of people who are banking on this character right now and specking on him.
What, Spider Boy?
And he appears to be cannon fodder. Like, I'm worried for the life of Spider Boy that it's going to be a short one before he gets squished. And if he gets squished in the next couple of issues, man, there'll be a lot of bag holders, especially them people who've been pre-ordering that second print 1 in 25. So maybe Marvel will be smart and not kill him off next issue, but maybe wait 2 issues so at least they get one.
Bro, I'm not.
Why do they have to kill him though? That's my thing. Why do they have to kill him? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
because that's what they need characters to die.
They will, but I'm saying, like, why do they have to? Like, you know, you got a Spider Verse, like,
because you got too many spiders running around right now. And spoiler,
because we can afford to lose a few.
Moreland shows up in this freaking issue,
and that's what I'm saying.
Hungry. He's
you
hungry.
Need a ton of spiders. You need a ton of.
You need a ton of fodder, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Here goes my only
cannon
thing.
fodder for that Moreland, right?
Here goes my only thing. A, they still haven't figured out what to do with Miles. 2, man, they done already created like fucking 30 new Spider characters this year. So why is everybody going crazy over this book?
Because it's the spider that bit them, man.
Because he got
his first appearance is Amazing Fantasy 15.
See, my thing is that, like, if they do, like you said, this book is just, it's FOMO.
Mama comments, I'm gonna send you a look. Like,
that's all. If he's in Amazing Fantasy 15, then because if that's the spider that bit him, like how I don't know. It makes sense.
Hold on, they did some other stuff with that spider that originally bit Peter. That spider has been in some other books too.
He bit Silk too.
Yeah,
he bit Silk. That's what it was.
Exactly.
And then died. And they show him dying. But what happens apparently is between him biting her and him, it grew a boy body. And mutated.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's the part that I'm struggling with putting together in the story, and I haven't read it, but you know,
I haven't read it either. I'm speculating that they turned the spider that bit Peter Parker into a mutated human, and that's why he's got multiple eyes on the outside of his mask. Is because it's a spider turned into a boy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I saw clips of it. Like I said, I haven't peeled it open yet. But it's as if they know who he is, like personally. The spiders that bit them, the spider that bit Peter, bit him and dipped. It wasn't like he kept him and was like, "Oh, like, you're the homie, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep you around and let's," you know what I mean? It was like, you know what I mean? Like, and he's out. Like, they're making it seem like he knows him. So I think there might be more to the story. Like I said, I haven't read it,
but they did show it in the Amazing Spider-Man relaunch when they did the introduction of Silk. They showed the spider biting Cindy and then dying. So they've already killed this guy off in the 616. But is he from the 616? And probably not, because if he's a Spider-Verse character, he could be from any one of these other, spider planets. He could be from the same planet. What it actually is they've taken the Peter Porker origin story and kind of altered it a little bit, because Peter Porker was a spider that got bit by a pig.
A spider that got bit by the pig.
Yes, and he turns into Spider Ham.
I don't remember.
And then
that.
there's Spider's Man. That is a man made of all spiders. There's a whole bunch of like weird things, man. Like all these different variants, like just a small little, change in the universe, and that's the character. So who knows? Who knows?
I just don't want him to make up bullshit. Give him his own little storyline. Let him go into his own thing, and
Let's see him
leave
sacrifice himself to Moreland to save Peter.
Maybe that's what'll happen.
2 issues down the road, after everybody's got their 125-second prints next month.
Yeah, that would be fucked up.
But that would be normal for Marvel.
It would be, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
so many times, man.
Cash grab.
People still looking at them Tosin books, just scratching their fucking head, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, this is what it's reminiscent of. Is chasing the hype.
And we talked about this in private, though. Here's the thing, though. Tosin is less derivative, even though he's in line as a potential future Black Panther.
True.
Yeah.
He's more original than a variant of whatever Spider-Verse shit they've got going on.
But see, here goes my thing. Another thing is Spider-Boy. That's like Robin, bro. Nobody's, there's not...
Comics and Sneaker says he's from the 616, though, so that might mean big things. So if he is from the 616, then his first appearance is hands down Amazing Fantasy 15.
If he is in fact the spider that bit Peter,
that's what they're saying. Yeah.
So what about Peter Palmer from the same series, Spider-Man #4?
Nobody care about that. What about Wreck Rap?
What was his name? What about the other one? What was it? Chasm?
Oh, that just got all over in the dark web shit. So
and it's always something, and it's weird how these books, how they will or won't take off.
They're all trying to capture that Spider-Gwen lightning, and it's not going to happen.
They won't even do nothing right with her. They're not doing right by her at all.
They haven't done nothing but right by her in a while.
Some terrible stories. Like, I'm like, really?
The current Gwen story is pretty horrible, and all
It's
these
terrible,
copy and paste, man. Like
some garbage. Like
you see the newest one. I mean, at least Nakayama got that's a good looking Rhino Gwen, man. What the hell?
I don't know, but you saw the Silk 1 in 25.
Yes.
That shit is fire.
Yeah, and it's got 2 1/100s on that book. So when we get into FOC later, maybe Lucas got them things.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I haven't even really looked at the photos real good. I just put it on the freaking thing, and we'll see what comes up. Spider-Gwen's a trans representative. Yeah. Well,
I think like
Still
Spider-Gwen and those characters need to. I mean, there's some characters that should stay animated.
yes.
You know what I mean? Because like I don't think
Yes.
you'll mess it up by doing it in live action. Like even Miles, I think they've set enough groundwork. They don't need to bring it. They just need to keep making great animated movies.
All right. So since you got DC up on the screen, it's all fair to talk about Blue Beetle, right?
Sure.
Blue Beetle trailer, everybody. Did everybody recognize that Blue Beetle is just Iron Man with an alien suit instead of an armor?
Or it's Yellow Jacket blue.
Yeah. Yellow Jacket turned
Blue
blue
Beetle,
as far as the suit goes, but no, I'm talking about the story arc.
Oh yeah.
Like him getting a suit, him going up and doing a space shot, him falling back to Earth, him doing the hovering above the ground, kind of like reminiscent. So there's a lot of I think swiping from the Iron Man stuff.
It's homaging, not swiping.
That's not
There's
a
a
homage.
difference.
It's a callback.
That's what we're calling it now.
I mean, but DC they shouldn't be doing that.
Why not?
It's like they should create their own shit. Like even if it's a joke, like come on, man. Every movie you got to do some shit where you're kind of poking fun at Marvel. Like just do your thing, man.
I mean, what's that word y'all like to use? Iconic.
Yeah, but I think he would do well. He's gonna do well if they tell his his story properly. You know what I mean? Like he has enough to capture an audience. Like he's checking the boxes at least. You know what I mean? Like if they do it right, they might have something. But they don't need to even reference Marvel whatsoever. Just be your own thing. Like,
But they're not being their own thing. It looks like it's going to be the same movie as Iron Man, only the suit's going to be.
no, I agree with you. I agree,
and everything else is going to be like right there.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's Iron Ant, basically. Like you know what I mean? Like it's got a lot of things from Ant-Man. It's got a bunch of things from Iron because you got George Lopez. I'm not hating, man, but you got George Lopez on there.
DC.
Nah, man, you got George Lopez on there, like what do you call it?
Batman's a fascist.
What's dude's homeboy? Remember on Ant-Man, the dude that has the security company with him. You need the comic relief. You know what I mean? You have the little group that helps him do his thing. Like, then he's got the suit. And come on.
Man, y'all
Iron Ant Beetle. Yeah.
Y'all be taking common plot devices and applying everything to the MCU.
No, but I'm saying like the story. I think it could be good, but how I mean, it's got essence or elements of Shang-Chi too. Like, I mean, it's you know what I mean?
You haven't even seen the movie.
No, I'm saying from the trailer. From what I can tell from the trailer, you got the home girl. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be the same. I get it. I'm not gonna be mad at it.
Like every superhero movie.
No, but I'm just saying, like when you're like comics, you can't tell the same story. Like you know what I mean? Like
bro,
at least change it up.
Telling the same story since the beginning of time.
What Knife said.
But that being said, the special effects look good. The premise looks.
I
good.
want to see it. It's the only DC movie that I'm kind of like excited to see. Like,
if they do Blue Beetle and they are going to try to kneecap Marvel, they should be doing Young Justice.
Yeah, they should.
That's the only way they're going to kneecap Marvel is because Marvel's got Young Avengers in the works. We've already seen all the seeds planted for that. And that's the only way that they would be able to compete with the same demographic that has the younger audience for the younger superhero age teams. Blue Beetle will be one of the good ones to start off first. Shazam really, being another one. Yep.
Really what they got to do is these movies don't even have to be like crazy good because DC, the bar has already been lowered. They just got to be like mid and people be like, damn, that wasn't too bad.
Exactly.
Look, I'll go see the next one. And then if you intertwine them and you build up to that Young Justice movie.
Nah, it's real. I mean, I fucks with the Beetle though. I'll give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
see, I don't think people are tired of superhero movies. They just tired of seeing the same shit.
Exactly.
And having the same agendas forced on them, bro. That's killing a lot of Disney related shit right now. Them forcing agendas. So, I mean.
Well, I don't know how to fix it.
So I'm looking forward to Blue Beetle.
I definitely want to check it out. I think it'll be good. I think it's gonna be good.
Man, if DC, I'm telling you, man, if they don't force no agendas in this movie, man, I think this movie will get a lot of good reviews, even if it's not that good of a movie. They just don't force no agendas.
Dude, this kind of all-star cast. I mean, you got not all-star, but you got George Lopez in it. That's not
George Lopez ain't shit.
No, but I'm saying he has a following though. You know what I'm saying?
So I already see a lot of people that are going to complain because if you got George Lopez, but George Lopez is going to want to make sure that they definitely flesh out Latino culture, right? And I know people are going to complain about that shit. Mm-hmm. I already see it freaking coming. Even though Jamie Reyes is Latino, right? is a part of who he is. He can't freaking escape from that, and they're gonna put that in this freaking movie, and people are gonna fucking complain. If
And that's
you're
what I'm saying. Like,
if you're gonna complain about a dude being who he is and his culture emanating to the freaking fuck you,
Tell me
right?
read the fucking comics.
you know, um, the only ones that I have a problem with is forced romances, right? Like, okay, we got to do this LGBTQ freaking romance, and you got a writer who is not a romance writer, and then they try and fucking force it. That's the ones that I fucking have an issue with because your romance writing ain't shit. All right, that's why freaking manga has fucking taken off because their writers actually know what the fuck they're doing and they take their fucking time. Vices, oh, here's the man, here's the man. Next thing you know, 3 panels later, they're in freaking bed. We don't need all that. All right, we can take your freaking time. Let's freaking actually love the character before we see them freaking fall in love. Right. But yeah, so everybody's good on this one. Everybody's going to see this. Is
yeah, I'm gonna
everybody going to
check.
see this
I'll check
in
it.
the theater, or are they going to take a
probably
rain
away
check?
from Max.
I'll go check it out in the theater.
No, I'm gonna go see it off the rip. I'm gonna see it off the cuff, man.
Well, nice. You weren't here when we did Shazam Fury of the Gods. Did you go see that in theaters?
Nah, I didn't. Even though I like the first Shazam, man, I ain't been to see much. I ain't seen Ant-Man. I ain't seen Mario. I ain't seen nothing.
Hey, comics and
Yeah.
sneakers. I want James Gunn to do both of those, or no, not James Gunn. James Cameron, or somebody like really, really talented.
Oh yeah.
Somebody who's really good at special effects and explosions.
I'm
Not
actually
James
afraid James Gunn is gonna fuck up DC.
There's a lot of people who are worried about that because, and you know what? They should be worried about it. As somebody who is Guardians of the Galaxy was definitely one of my favorite books growing up. There was a lot of Bryan Singer-esque liberties that James Gunn took with rewriting the Guardian story and lore. Again, Ego is not really his father in the comic books, but he is in the movies. So I mean, there's again that creative liberty a lot of these guys like to take, and they try to, resume storytelling in a way that allows them to make a movie, but it does come into conflict with the source material. So, well, we lost 2 people. Everybody on a smoke break?
Yeah, man. I feel like, man, he's gonna try to get too cute.
Well, what do you think? Because he actually put out a tweet earlier this week that said, actually, it wasn't a tweet. It's an article in Empire where he says that they've actually had conversations about doing the Marvel DC crossover.
That's dumb.
No,
I saw that too, and I think it's totally stupid. They should
Man,
not fucking cross
They
over.
don't need to be talking about no crossovers because they don't even have X-Men in Marvel movies. Why would they be talking about doing crossovers with DC? They don't have Miles in the Marvel universe. And see, that's Marvel's first problem, man. They're focused on everything except getting their intellectual property rights in order.
Well, that's just it, because Sony has it and not Marvel, and that's why it's a problem.
Yeah, and man, they should have been trying to get that cleared up before. Man, I don't think it's true. I think that's just one of them things. Like, yeah, we talked about it in a joking manner, but I don't think it's anything that's legitimate there, man. And then DC, man, what would you benefit from doing a Marvel crossover, man? That's not gonna make more people go and see DC movies. You got to build up to something like that.
Now, wouldn't it be awesome if Disney said, we're going to buy DC, and just all of a sudden just folded them in, right?
That would be horrible.
That would suck monkey balls.
Yeah, I don't think that'll. Even if they tried, I don't think they'll allow that because that would be a monopoly. So the big boys at the SEC and Federal Trade Commission wouldn't.
No, man, Image Comics and Valiant and all them Whatnot Publishing, all them publishers are still out there, man. Dynamite making 1 billion books, got a fucking solar system full of green planets just to farm the fucking trees.
Well, gotta remember, the FTC has stepped in. So, for instance, Simon Schuster They were trying to be bought out by Penguin Random House, and the FTC stepped in. So so DC being a big powerhouse, and then you got Marvel on the other hand being a big powerhouse, they are not going to let those two freaking mix. They will fight. The FTC will fight tooth and nail to come up with a reason for them not to combine and be bought out by the other ones. Now, here is what is interesting is that Marvel and Warner Brothers, they've been breaking up some of their little other projects into other little freaking companies. Those little underling subsidiary companies could probably be bought, but not DC and Marvel as a whole being bought by each other. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I don't want to see it happen either.
It's not a monopoly if they make a movie together. Right, yeah, I'm not talking about them making a movie together. I'm talking about one of
Like
them.
everybody wanting Disney to buy them because Disney's, one of the biggest conglomerates on the planet, and they have the money to fucking do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Making
Man,
those
it would be
promises.
horrible if if Disney bought DC, because it's
Well, see, they don't even have to do that. They could buy there's a couple of storylines out there that actually has them cross over. One of them was in the last 4 to 5 years. That would be crossover, written by Donny Cates, and the other one was what's the name of it? Ultra.
but see crossover. They never really showed any DC or Marvel characters
Mhm.
in
They kind of
those.
Well,
showed like
the
a
amalgam books, though, back in the day,
yes,
Yeah.
that were like the crossover books, like DC. What was it? Teen Titans and Uncanny X-Men was the first one, right?
Yeah.
And then they had the amalgam
No,
books.
actually,
Which were,
the Superman versus Spider-Man was technically the first one.
oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
The oversized from the 70s.
But that was an oversized book. So the first one that it had, like it was a direct market release that wasn't an oversized like that, was the Teen Titans X-Men.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, I mean, you're right though. You're right.
Wait, wasn't there the Hulk Batman right before that?
You may be right. I may not be fully up on the knowledge. Wasn't ready to research this topic before the show tonight, but I'm going off of memory here. But yeah, so I mean, there's been some crossovers that have happened already, but that happened at a time when things were on an upswing, and it's like they could put anything in the store and it would almost sell. I don't know if that's the time right now.
It's not. It's not. I mean, there's too many projects going on. They need to make sure they solidify these characters or whoever they're going to put in there. But or they could just buy out the crossover from Donny Cates and just do what the book actually did, and just kind of talk about the world of superheroes and not actually show the superheroes. That way, you won't have to pay the fucking actors to actually fucking do anything. Lock up half the DC universe in a fucking prison, which is what the fucking book did, and just focus on regular fucking people and how they react to this whole superhero thing going on. See, what? Okay, all right, well,
'Cause I didn't know something,
right off the bat.
Yeah.
So yes, for those that don't know, I don't coordinate with these guys before I just throw shit on these fucking slides. I just throw shit up there, hey, and I just ask them random fucking questions like, hey man.
So what other news do we have this week? Oh yeah, this Injustice storyline trash is still going on. Action Comics. Meh.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit going on, and then have freaking because we went early, didn't have enough time to go through all that, and I didn't. DC's already started to throw up some of their previews, so I haven't had chance to go through that. So we're just going to have to go off of covers. So first up, this is Adventures of Superman John Kent, number 3.
They are in the Injustice.
Yes. Cover B by Orzu. Here's your Afar Richardson. And your 1-25 by Travis Mercer. And then that same this one was actually also a 1-50 by Clayton Henry.
And foil.
That's it. In this.
Oh wait! What's that third one? They must have added that after I did FOC. The La Novella, the third Astra and Inez. The next book. after the Superman shit. There you go. Astro and
CX.
Inez. So I had that. I don't know if I might have missed a cover.
So this is. I don't think this is DC. This is
Comics
another company.
Experience. It's on the Lunar Network, but it's Comics Experience. Yeah. So you showed this cover, and you showed the next cover, and then I think there's a third one.
Yes.
I don't think I had the third one. I think I might have missed that one.
So there's this one.
I had that one.
And then this one.
Yeah, I might have missed that one because that one I think might have been added today. Because I was getting it together last night.
Yeah, they did add a lot of shit today. So if I had to take some time to put some shit on the side, freaking forgive me.
It's all right.
Batman number 135, Jorge Jimenez number 900.
Yeah.
Is that like a legacy number? I guess
It is their legacy number. It's 135 of this volume.
Oh, okay.
I still don't understand why they just quit out and renumbered it.
I know they should have been. It should have been advertised as Batman 900 from the get go.
Yeah.
They should have just blown it out. The Casada 2-part wraparound variant,
Right.
which they have a 1 in 100 white wraparound of that Casada. It's sketch, and then they're selling you the book in 2 different variant covers if you want it.
See if I can get it together. Here we go. So, yep, there's your cover B and your cover C connecting card variant. Then next we have the Batman 135 cover D, Gabriel Del Alto. There's your Stanley Archer for 135. There's your Kyle and Goo.
Look at all them Robins.
Too many fucking Robins. They need a Moreland vampire to kill some of them off.
Justify.
There's your cover G by Neil Adams. Your Jim Chung foil.
When is that Batman and Robin series coming up? The one you were talking about last week?
Don't.
Is that the summer or is it coming soon? They don't have a
I
date
think
for
it's
it.
the fall.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is your 1 in 25 Lee Bermejo. Looks pretty cool. So if you look very carefully inside the windows, there's a whole bunch of, you got Batman and Joker on the freaking roof, right? But if you look in the windows, there's actually some crazy shit going on. You got freaking Robin tied up, and then you got this Joker. I don't know whether that's a female or what, but there's a little Joker in the window as well. And I'm not sure what's going on in the middle window. But pretty interesting 1 in 25.
Whatever's going on, it has Robin shocked and appalled.
And then let me go back to this one. This one, which was an open order, also has a 150 art germ foil.
And it's more blue.
Yes. And then there's your facsimile for the first appearance of Poison Ivy.
So I
Batman
saw this.
181.
They showed a cover A. Did they add a cover B?
There is a cover B, but it just says a foil, but it's showing just the same art.
Okay. That makes sense.
And then there's a blank for the facsimile.
Wow.
They're doing that again.
Yeah. So the top
again,
is the
again.
normal, but then there's the rest of it is blank. Okay. Let me go back to Batman 135 because Joe Quesada.
1 in 100.
Yep, 1 in 100. A lot of stuff going on in there. This one is your Deadly Duel, Batman and Joker, number 7, Mark Silvestri. Man, I was surprised by this one. Simon Bisley. We haven't heard from him in a while. Did a freaking cover. Then this one is, I forget who this one is done by, but it's kind of crazy as well. In fact, Simon Bisley actually did cover B and C. Oh, so this one, okay, I see what happened. So when I pulled this one, it didn't have any color to it, But now here it is with color. And that's your cover C. This one's your cover D, Mike Manola. Your cover E, Jock. Your 1 in 25, John Boy. That's your cover H, 1 in 100. And this one right here is your cover G, 1 in 50. Here's your Batman versus Robin hardcover. Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker #1. This one, when they did the first White Knight series, that first series was fire. I've dropped off. I haven't been reading that shit, so I don't know if anybody cares about this White Knight stuff anymore.
There's like a first appearance of this is the same thing.
Yeah.
Alternate universe, first appearances, people go crazy over them. Remember when there was 2 Harleys and everybody's like, "Oh shit, yo, bro, 2
Everyone
Harleys."
lost their minds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a low ordered book, it wasn't really on the mainstream side of things, but it's DC
The
Black.
quality of the last 2 of these White Knight series are still up there. So it's a good story. I just don't know if it's wearing out its welcome now.
Yeah. Here's your cover. Excuse me. Here's your cover B, and then there's your cover. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. So let me go back. This is your cover B by Mercer and Dolfo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then there's your cover C, 1 in 25 by Dan Mora. Not sure why that's a 1 in 25, but I do think people would have appreciated if the Mercer and Dolfo, which is actually not that bad at all, would have been in the 1 in 25.
And also her name is at the bottom, so I think she's doing interiors in the book too, which would be amazing.
Oh wow.
But then these motherfuckers have the nerve to make a 1 in 50 of the Sean Murphy. And then there's also a 1 in 100 of that same thing that's for foil. All right. Let's go up one of the gods. Katrina's Caravan by Scout Comics. DC versus Vampires All Out War Part 1. Destiny New York by Black Mask. They've got a Lurie cover. It's more like what's that? I forget which distributor did it, but it was like a black magic, and it's like a group of magicians, and they get together, and they're like a mafia for magicians. That's basically the same concept here.
So this is the story about she was destined. Somebody's destined to save the world, and they save the world when they're really, really young, and then they have their whole life after that. And this is the story about what they do with their life after they've saved the world.
Mm.
So they were destined to save the world, but they've already lived into that. So what next?
I don't know.
And it's Leslie Leary Lee. So yeah, I mean the vibes are awesome.
And she's got the magical tattoos.
But this wasn't this just optioned?
No, Magic Order was optioned.
Something happened with Destiny New York.
I think rumors are it's rumored to be optioned.
Yeah.
I read the cover price market report right when it said rumored options. This was on there.
So the previous volume was, it was optioned according to the chat. So that's the reason why, like, I think the option news followed by them releasing a new volume might be, I don't know, might be worth checking into for some people.
All right. Well, that's crazy. Flash. This looks like a torn Clark. Cover A. Here's your cover B by Perkin and Mike Spicer. Here's your cover C by Ethan Young. Here's your 1 in 25 by Serge Acuna. And of course, that Torrent Clark, that was also a 1 in 50 foil. Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing by Carmen Gian Domenico. This one is your cover B, Francesco Mattina. Clayman. And the cover du jour. This might be the cover of the week.
Yeah, that's a
1 in
stretch.
25, Ivan Tao. Might be. Once again, I haven't seen all the covers yet.
I mean, it's an all right cover, but we got to keep going before I can even think about saying that. It just had to be a fucking pitiful week for me to say that that's cover of the week.
So I talked about this first issue for Joseph 1957. This is a gorilla who's floating around in low orbit. And Dwight D. Eisenhower launches himself into space to deal with him. With the third cover is a Blade Runner homage, and I think it's fucking incredible. Look at that.
Yeah, I gotta get that.
Amazing. Soviet gorilla gets launched into space and forgotten about, comes back pissed off in a low orbit scenario, and they have to send Dwight D. Eisenhower into orbit to fucking deal with this guy? Man.
I'm wearing the Sherlin.
So not only that, there was a 25 copy incentive for issue number 1 that some people in Drunken Chat and of course, you know, on my show, we're talking about how hard that book was to find. It's like non-existent. And then this is a book from CES Publishing through Lunar Distribution, so nobody's ordering it.
Well, Dwayne Scott says from that description alone, he's going to get it.
I mean, it sounds like a really cool premise to me. Now, this thing back on FOC again.
Carnal Confessions.
Yeah, so it was on FOC last week as well.
Yeah.
But they second printed number 1. Here's your incentive. That's probably the best artwork.
Bondage, of course, leather. Gotta have it.
Testify. Spec it up, fucking.
Hey, now. Be careful. We go. Peacemaker tries hard.
Yeah.
This one was done by Chris Enka.
This was also on FOC last week, but they only showed one cover. They said, just send the movie poster. Everybody will order it. Apparently they were wrong. No shit, nobody ordered anything. Put up the A cover and the B cover.
Was the movie poster at least a photo cover?
No photo covers at all. You even said that on my show when I showed you these.
Yeah, I know.
This one is by Bjorn Berens.
That's going to be as close to a movie cover as you're going to get right there.
There's your movie cover. And your Dan Hip 1 in 25. And a 1 in 50.
The
by
Dove of
Simone
Peace
DeMeo.
and the Gun Shape by Simone DeMeo. I think this one hits.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. That's kind of why I'm looking forward. I don't read DC, but if Simone DeMeo is doing it, I fucks with it. He does the Batman and Robin.
This is going to be a partial foil, and I think it's just going to be his helmet that's going to be foiled.
And it's a 1 in 50, you said?
1 in 50.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. Fucking with it.
Nothing too crazy, but
Like all the bangers on the wall.
Some bangers and some boom booms. All right. Poison Ivy. Jessica Fong. Jenny Frison. Hermanico. Cardstock. It's just your 1 in 25. Manahini.
That's kind of fat right there.
And that was that for that one. That Jenny Frison also comes in a 1 in 50. I forget which title this one is, but I forget which fucking thing it is. It's the one where Jesus teams up with a superhero. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's in a whole book.
What the fuck? Yeah.
That's your 1 in 3 incentive variant cover.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah. John Tim, Shazam. Wait. Oh. As it was, that's not the one. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, this one is your 1 in 25. Even Shaner. This one is your cover B by Chris Samney. That one's your cover C by John Timms. And this is your Mike Diodao foil. Open
Bro,
order.
it's not skipped leg day in years.
I don't know. It looks like he might have put a little oil in one of those legs, man, because the symmetry ain't right. And then there's your 1 in 25 by Shaner.
No, he drives a clutch.
Ah.
And there's your 1 in 50 Ariel Colon. Dan Mora. You look closely, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on to include your tentacles of the week.
There was more tentacles. I covered them. I even gave you a couple shout outs every time I saw one, man.
Hey, anytime there's tentacles and bondage, I'm all over it.
Justified. Speaking of fucking.
Frank Frazetta's Mothman, if you wanted to
So that
speculate on procreation.
I didn't see that one under Opus today.
I wonder if they changed it. They might have changed it.
Because all I saw was Dawn of Attack and then their other title, the something that only had one A cover and then 1 5-copy incentive. But either way, it's a Frazetta title, so that's awesome. Opus is doing another one.
You're right.
Pushed.
Interesting. They pulled it. Interesting.
Oh, that's tight. Still,
It is.
Jeepers Creepers. I'm getting a feel from that, right?
Yeah, Mothman's got a young lady freaking gripped up in the air. She's trying to fight for life with that shotgun, but
Yeah, she got the shotgun, but I don't think she's got the right angle to really
work
kill
pretty
one
well in
off.
our favor, man.
you need that 3 points of contact. And she ain't got none of that.
I don't know. I always like the weathered books, man. I always like when they have the little weathered style on them, man. Virgin too.
Yeah. Some Radiant Black, goodness, 1 in 25s. Some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Power Rangers weirdness.
Dinosaurs.
So you had the 1 in 25. I only saw the black the black line and a 1 in 10. So I was afraid there was going to be a 1 in 25 too. So thank you for that.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, what am I looking at? I'm looking at these are the 1 in 25s. Did you see the 1 in 50?
T. Jones, that's blasphemy right there.
The 1 in 100 looks identical, and it didn't say anything about one of them being foil, but I'm assuming that one of them is probably going to be a foil.
Right off the bat, I don't see any mention of a foil. But this one is a 1 in 100 one that I got up here right now.
And they showed a 1 in 50 that had the same exact art.
Yep. Well, the same exact art, that was a 1 in 75. So this one
there you go.
right here is a 1 in 75 and a 1 in 100. The 1 in 50
was the other
it's
one.
got like Saved by the Bell. Let me see if I can bring that over.
Yeah, it's got all of them in their humanoid form with Mikey talking to April and the Pink Ranger. Yep.
So that's a 1 in 75, that one?
Yeah. Freaking Dynamite still just pumping these out. This one is a Draculina cover.
Again, did you not hear what I said earlier? I found out that Dynamite has an entire solar system of green planets that they farm for trees to make their variants. They have to have an entire solar system of
Actually,
planets.
they own it. They bought a part of the New Jersey State Forest, and that's their printing press.
Plus the entire system of planets that they have that grow trees for their printing.
Jesus.
It's crazy, man.
But this one is Draculina Blood Simple number 3, 1 in 25 by Kanyan. It's a version. Good Deeds, Scott Snyder presents by Dark Spaces. And don't overlook this one when it comes to the dark space and stuff. Because don't forget, there's another one that's out there that just got optioned. That was the one that was about the fire women that rather than the joint, they found out there was some shit inside the house. They decided to rob it, but their way out got freaking blocked off, so they got to go underground. Under the fucking house, there's a whole bunch of crazy shit going on. So don't know what's going on with good deeds, but just saying, don't overlook some of these. I forget who the fuck did that.
That was Raphael Albuquerque.
What was the name of the
That one
title?
right there. That's that. What's the IDW book? Fuck, can't remember the name of it right now. That's how good it is I can't remember the name of it.
Let me get to IDW real quick. Earth Divers.
There you
Earth
go.
Divers 1 in 10.
But it's also the A cover.
Star Trek 1 in 10 by Feehan. 1 in 25 by Ward. Star Trek The Motion Pictures Echoes.
Yeah, lots of weird stuff because it's the first motion picture.
Let's see.
Is that Spock holding himself? Didn't Spock take on the suit and go into the V'ger machine?
I think
Your
so.
shit, huh?
Remo's on mute. I can't tell if he was trying to add something.
That was when he went in he was in the suit when he died, right? He took his
No,
helmet
he
off?
didn't die in the motion picture. He died in 2.
Oh, 2. Okay.
So in the motion picture, I'm wondering if the Echoes is him going into the Voyager unit.
Oh, right.
Remember when he was seeing all that shit,
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
Like
So this might be that the book might be from that period right there.
when he reached into Voyager and touched Voyager and did the Vulcan
Right.
mind meld with it.
Exactly.
Like, went ham. I'm sure this has probably got to have something to do with that.
It might not be a bad one. I mean,
Might not be, and this is one of many retail incentive covers.
Yep. And this one is a 1 in 25.
Mm-hmm.
So not a bad play.
and those books are hard to find, man.
Nobody orders Star Trek, man. Nobody FOC.
Nobody orders that shit, man. They got some dope incentive covers too.
You guys have heard me say it before. Working in comic shops, I always had that angry Star Trek customer. What do you mean you didn't order it for the shelf? Like, dude, nobody fucking buys these books. Like, if you're gonna want these books, you need to pre-order them.
You gotta pre-order them on your own, baby.
Nerds.
Oh, look, the copy and paste.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of this one? Ultra? This one is open order. Greg Land.
Yeah, no. Greg Horn's the better Greg at the moment.
Okay. He did the same art from Edge of Spider-Verse 2 again.
Yes. So no. Well, I mean, it's not only this. This art's been reused a bunch of times. This has been a Gwen Stacy cover just by painting the hair blonde. And then all he did was he took the same Gwen Stacy artwork and painted the hair red and shipped it as a Mary Jane. I'm not a big fan of Mr. Land and his artwork lately. He's been phoning it in.
This is his
he's been taking that
That check.
That copy pasta.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say he's been taking that Todd Knock headshot route, but I don't want to do my man Todd like that because
Todd actually changes the artwork and
because he's
draw
actually
the
changing
page.
the artwork. Man, Greg is just probably just photoshopping this shit, bro.
It's the same and it's
Like
always
all
been
of
the
them
Anderson face, right?
Like all of them Gwen covers he did with the homage to Edge of Spider-Verse 1 in 25.
Y'all.
Just Photoshop that.
I'm just tired of that pose. I'm tired of just.
Well, and I love Mary Jane in the spider suit, man. I think that's one of the best things ever. But I'm not a fan of that one. just not.
Dark Avengers.
Yes, sir. This is part of the Disney 100. Avengers for that one. Let's see. I'm trying to. I forgot how to freaking do all that other stuff. So this one is your 1 in 25. Gwen Stacy by John Romita.
There's an open order one too.
1 in 50,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, is it 1 in 50 or is it open order? Because I know that's one of the 1 in 100s. I know that there's a John Romita Jr. 1 in 100.
The one with the black suit, right?
No, that's your 1 in 25 right there with Mary Jane on it. So if we've got a 1 in 100 for the Avengers thing, there's your other 1 in 100.
This one is your 1 in 50.
Oh, 1 in 50. I'm sorry.
Yep.
So
And then isn't there a Virgin John Romita Jr. holding Gwen Stacy that's a 1 in 100 also?
I have
saw- I saw-
not seen it.
the Spidey posted it in our chat, remember?
Uh-huh. There's the Scotty Young.
There's your casting.
Probably grabbing that one, that's for sure.
But no, I don't see a. Oh, okay. So yeah, wow. Okay, so that JR is actually a 1 in 100.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought.
Then right, yeah. So this
Now
was your
there's a
order.
black
This is
suit JR with Mary Jane.
yes.
Is that open
Yes.
order?
Yes, that is open order. So let me pull that
Perfect.
one up.
Perfect. That's all I needed to hear.
This is going to be an interesting hot seat for the poll box members, right? They got to make these decisions.
So here's the deal. All right. 4 of those 1 in 25s that got the Mary Jane jackpot cover. That's awesomeness right there, if you ask me. This is the book that is the better John Romita Jr. cover. There's 2 1 in 100s though. So you have the Disney 1 in 100, and then you have the JR holding Gwen Stacy 1 in 100.
I'd go with
Right.
Disney.
You're gonna get one of each if
Yeah,
you order
that's
100
the-
books through Lucas.
That's the thing, right? You get them for $3.99. Oh, excuse me, $6.99. Ooh, holy shit! I just realized that. I just saw that. The price, the price on these, the cover price is $6.99.
$6.99.
Oh shit!
Yep.
So these 1 in 100s aren't going to be cheap, and you know those Disney heads, they're going to be chasing that 1 in 100 black and white Disney book, just because they're trying to put together the set. Probably. Shout out to all those people, lunatics, doing that shit. So
you get one of these.
and then you get one of the JRJRs.
You get one of these, and then you get 2 of these, and then where's the 1 in 25? The 1 in 25 was the one.
jackpot.
Yeah, that one. 4 of those.
Mm-hmm.
It's the qualifiers that's going to be a tough one to decide. I mean, look, the thing that has been selling still is the Dark Avengers Disney 100. That's one that's been selling. But I have not seen any of the art for any of the other stuff till today. So I can't tell anybody what to buy.
Well, this is issue 25, but it's like what 976.
Something like that and change.
Yeah, so they're not quite at Spider-Man 1000, but I know they're working their way up to 1000. And legacy numbering being what it is. But you have a question in the chat asking if you order it, you will get these. Yes, if you order 100 copies from Lucas, you will get your 1 in 100 incentives. Lucas is that dude.
All that shit.
Yeah, you get all of it. You get
4 1 in 25s, and 2 1 in 50s, and your 2 1 in 100s.
I wonder if you got to specify them.
You got yes. It helps. It helps to specify exactly what you want, right? Now here's what'll fucking happen. If it's game day and I'm packing your shit, and for some reason a whole bunch of your qualifiers are just fucked up, sometimes if it's like no more than like 3 or 4, sometimes I might have to fulfill your 100 order, especially if it's 100. This is big fucking bucks. I might have to fill it with something else that's still within your qualifier range or some shit like that. Because you'll see it on the invoice. That some of this shit will be just free, like because what you're actually purchasing is the variants and everything. Um, but yeah, man, you're gonna get you order 100 of these, you're going to get one 100 plus the other cover B 100. You're going to get 4 of the 125s, and you're going to get 2 of the 150s.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So do you think if you're gonna specify, you think more people are gonna go after the Spideys or this Avengers?
Right now they're going after the Avengers. That's the big order. You know what's crazy is I haven't even put this shit up in my fucking shop or in my eBay yet.
I still
I don't
say,
know. What the, I
I'll
don't know
bet
what the fuck's wrong with
strippers
me.
and Pizza Hut on the Avengers. I will bet strippers, Pizza Hut, and Kit Kat bars on the Avengers.
Yeah, well, go for it. Go for it. Well, it's Dark Avengers, right? It's how much of the Dark.
Yeah,
Avengers.
Dark Avengers.
Or it was, I don't even think it was Dark Avengers. It was just the Avengers #1 that had that lightning bolt type of thing when they did a relaunch.
I thought it was
Dark Avengers then homaged it later with the same
okay.
pose, but with all the dark, the replacement Avengers that took over.
Yeah,
So,
I think you might be right. Yeah, it was from that run. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
like 2005, 2006
Mhm.
Avengers.
Let's keep it going because once again, I still haven't seen a lot of these covers,
Oh.
so I'm.
And I figured out how this is all going down. You guys ever wondered why everybody's getting spider powers?
is that Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider Boy's running around biting all the heroes of the Marvel universe and giving them spider powers.
Oh.
Wait, that's
think?
okay. That's your spec. Okay, I was gonna say what?
But you know how it goes.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Somebody
be too
on
far
Marvel
off.
and Disney be watching Drunken Chat and being like, "That's a really good idea." Hey Dan, you know that character we were going to kill in issue 9? How about he just goes around the Marvel universe and be biting everybody, turn them into Spider-Man?
Right?
I was like, yeah, but we don't have any new money for any new stories. Yeah, but this guy on fucking this podcast just put out this shit.
We'll say he bit Peter and then he morphed into the Spider Boy. So Peter's like 60 something years old and he's only 18.
But no, Spider-Boy running up on everybody, be like, "Oh my God, Captain Marvel, so nice to meet you."
Yeah, right?
Those are the Wolverine, and that's how Wolverine got them adamantium fucking spider legs.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I think I'm
So this one is Captain Marvel number 49, the Romy Jones Spider-Verse with Captain Marvel in a weird. It's weird. It's fucking weird because look, she's got the spider costume on, but it's fashioned in her Captain Marvel costume. But then she's got the Miss Marvel sash off to the sides.
Well, that was her sash first.
So
She rocked it
I don't
first,
know.
man. Like that's what everybody seems to forget. They modeled Ms. Marvel after Ms. Marvel when she was the Ms. Marvel.
I'm pretty sure Indian people had the sashes first. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, we
I will give her the mohawk.
Cultural appropriation.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is
I
going
think
on.
Spider-Man India might have something to say.
Whoever
About
invented clothes is gonna be pissed off, man.
Daredevil number 11. This one is by Mark Cicchetto. I actually kind of like this one.
Yeah, actually, I dig the newer Daredevil design. Like Daredevil was that model dude who went and got a haircut without a beard, and his barber told him to grow out a beard. Next thing he knows, he's got a multi-million-dollar modeling career.
What's going on?
I mean, red kryptonite and all, but nah. See, there it is again. Copy pasta.
straight up with
Now, Derek has used this pose before too. Let's
yeah,
not
one in
kid
50.
ourselves.
So Disney all of a sudden decided they want to have thick women in their shit. Awesome.
Yeah.
Testify.
I heard me talking about Princess Peach and Mario.
Nah, they're realizing what the world wants.
They want those big dookie bookie butts.
All right, so here we go. Here we go. Daredevil, number
Also got
11.
bit by
That's
Spider-Boy,
Dave.
see?
Yep, Dave Johnson.
Marvel just be
that,
Marvel just be
Ultra
doing
showed us-
shit, man.
Yeah, man.
Just
yeah.
to do it.
Can't even like I can't even justify this shit. Like when Ultra showed us the Wolverine, I was like I'm done. I won't buy none of this shit. Me personally, but you know.
Here's your Daredevil, number 11. Lee Iron Fist, AAPI or Asian whatever Heritage Month variant.
So why is this over here? Like if you guys want to see some really fucked up shit, see where they put the characters for all of these AAPI variants, and see whose books they put them in, and be like, why did you put them here?
I don't know, man.
I don't know, but I fucks with that Electra though.
That's 25 copy EJ Sue variant for Star Wars High Republic.
Trash.
Garbage. I wouldn't buy 25 copies to get that shit. That's for sure.
Thank God I'm blind.
I don't know. He's gonna have to change my mind. That's all.
EJ Sue's style is not really accepted by everybody. I understand that.
I mean, I see what it is. It's just that I would have rather a better character, not that character.
It was just trash to me.
Yeah. There's your.
I mean, I see the negative space,
Yeah.
and I kind of like how you put the negative space bleeding into what would have been like light bouncing off her skin, but man, it's like a great value, David. Aha.
Yeah. Not enough.
Actually, I think it is an Aja cover.
Oh,
But
that's
it's
dope
not-
then. That's
yeah.
that's fire.
Okay.
Pass.
Here's your Wolverine, number 33, 1 in 25.
So everybody cool with Beast being a villain? Okay.
It's
When
been
the
a long
original
time
X-Men,
coming.
you know?
Beast really should have been a villain because he was the only X-Men with common sense.
If you've ever worked in a laboratory, you'll understand Beast, man. Like, look, all I want to do is I just want to fucking see the world. I just want to come up with this fucking cure. But y'all keep fucking with my budget. All right. I just asked for a couple of fucking beakers and shit. Now you want me to fucking come up with this requisition form, to do this. And in order to get the requisition form, I gotta fucking put it in the fucking, all this and everything. So I understand where Beast is coming
So
from.
now he's turning into Mr. Sinister, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think
Basically.
Dark Beast.
Yeah, Dark Beast is cut in half and sitting in a tube on Krakoa.
But
So
Beast's
it-
been trying to do this though. I mean,
Yeah, it's been kind of working their way up to this one too for a while.
Yeah. that's what I mean. It's been a
Since
long
the
time.
beginning
coming.
of the Hickman X-Force stuff, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe even a little before that.
yeah. But Beast has always been under a lot of pressure. Trying to not be blue. And this is the one that gets me is why is Sister Dagger
In a Wolverine book.
on a Wolverine book?
I don't know, but I like it.
And Sister Dagger, in my opinion, I think that's the closest adaptation to what we got in the Shang-Chi MCU film. I think this is the sister that they modeled it after, because it was
Yeah.
weird how they were dropping all the new family members right before the film came out. Like in the Marvel comics, they were introducing all of his extended family: Sister Hammer, Sister Dagger, Brother Saber.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They introduced a ton of family members for him. And then when the sister in the movie showed up wielding some daggers in the bob cut, I was like, bro, that's definitely correlation right there. So, but still, I don't understand why this is on a Wolverine book. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, not at all. But I do like. Is it the
AAPI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. AAP, IPP. Yeah.
There
Yeah,
it is.
There it is. There it is.
See, a spider boy bite would not have affected Wolverine like that because of his healing factor. So that's some bullshit. I'm calling bullshit.
And how did it morph the
There's
adamant?
fucking poor Colossus.
Yeah.
Oh, Colossus isn't even on FOC this week. Poor guy.
Yeah. So there's that. Then there's this Colossus. Oh,
Is it
so
red?
okay, so here we go. Here we go. This might be the tentacle cover of the week. What say you? And then this one is interesting. Storm as spider figure.
Why?
It actually doesn't look bad.
Well, you see, Spider Boy saw that ass and then took a bite.
I feel them on that.
Crept up on it from
I
behind.
can't blame Spider Boy for that.
Yeah, not
You
at
know,
all.
I mean,
Yeah.
especially if it was drawn by Diodato, it would have been.
Testify. Pick it up.
Well, this one was done by Luciano Vecchio, who has done some of those Disney 100 covers.
No, there's some old Diodato Jr. drawings of Storm where she's got like the tiniest waist
Yep.
and just curve, man. It's like,
Don't.
whoa. But you can't blame Diodato Jr. He's Brazilian,
Yeah.
so
Extreme Venomverse.
wait. Did you guys heard of? So yeah, we talked about this earlier. Samurai. Go ahead. No. Show the next picture. Samurai Venom, cultural appropriation in a comic being pushed on its way to you with a first cover appearance on an open order and a 1 in 50. And a
So,
Scotty.
who's that at the bottom?
That's
That's-
Dylan.
That's got to
Dylan,
be a
right?
Dylan
Yeah,
of some sort, a Venomverse version of Dylan.
right. Mini Dylan.
But there's the Samurai Venom that they're trying to push as a first appearance in this book to get you to buy it. The Venom above him that looks like Spider-Man as Venom, I think that's the dopest looking one so far. And then, your traditional Eddie Brock juicing, doing a lot of weightlifting Venom.
Here is Venom, Lethal Protector, 1 in 25.
Second print, number 1.
Feels
Ratio.
good.
Coming at you, second print ratios again.
Looks really freaking good.
Second print bullshit.
Testify.
There's your Silk cover.
So Derek Chu's 1 in 50 right here is pretty dope. There's also an open order with trade dress that's I thought was kind of cool. But there's other. Remo said it earlier. You got a picture of that Nakayama for these guys?
Oh, of course. Once again, this is one of those that it just wasn't available for me.
That's it. That's
Yeah, man.
That's
I saw
the
that.
only work.
And Marvel messed up by not making this the higher ratio than the Derek Chu.
That shit right there is fire.
Hand woven dress. Literally.
So I guess the question would be, which qualifiers do you get? Now there is a Momoko.
But that's a 1 in 100.
Yes.
Why the fuck do
Oh, no,
why
this
would
is
you-
this one's an open order.
Oh, whoa, there's a 1 in 100 version of that one though.
Let me check.
There's a
If
50
there
copy
is-
Chu and a 1 in 100
Ah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Momoko of that, which doesn't make any fucking sense. When you had that Nakayama,
What is the deal?
again,
I'd rather see that as a
They
one.
could have. So the Nakayama is the what? 1 in 50?
1 in 25.
125. The Chew is the 1 in 50.
Yep.
So they could have made the Peach the 1 in 25,
And let this
The
be a
Nakayama.
virgin 1 in 100. Shit.
1 in 50, and put this shit like 1 in 100.
Virgin.
But
Yeah.
see, here's the thing about it. You got to think about the psychology on it. They want people to order no less than 25. So with this cover, most shops is going to order no less than 25. Plus you got the Peach as an open order to back it up. So you can kind of reinforced. All right, man, we should be doing 25
But the peach
minimum
cover's
per
not
shot.
good enough to warrant ordering 25.
Yeah,
Bro, I mean, they probably going what issue is this?
One.
Oh, so number 1, bro. Man,
Right,
Shops
so-
is blowing this out anyway, man.
Right. So let me get to
But
this.
ain't this like the 5th, 6th time they done restarted?
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, at least.
Seth, maybe.
And each number 1 issue has a new character in it. So this one, the solicitor says Cindy Moon returns as the web spinning spider Silk in an all new blah 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 series. As Silk gains popularity in the public eye, Cindy is questioning her place in the world. Aside in the current series with Spider Boy and all the other stuff, they've identified because she's already been identified as the bride. She's got this whole when you talk about this whole web spinning, she was identified as the bride. Now in the series, she was also called the chosen one. So she's got this role. They just haven't given full clarity as to what that role is. Furthermore, in the solicit, it says, but existentialism, man, I am every like a motherfucker. I can't say this word. Will have to wait when a powerful new villain is turned loose. So there's a new villain that's going to be in this one. But we're not speculating on villains right now. Nobody gives a fuck about villains, especially when we don't know if they're going to show up anywhere. So here you go.
Still look right there, man.
I could still see this being about a $50 book, though.
Yeah, but like you said, there's going to be a gang of them because it's the first issue. People are going to buy a lot of copies.
Yeah. Most shops will probably do a minimum of 50.
Yeah, they're gonna do 25. Like they're gonna do 50 of just the 4 or 5 covers. They're gonna mix it up and get 50. You know what I mean? They're gonna get 50. So you're gonna have at least 2 per store.
Let me see the chew again.
Here we go.
See, that looks just like the 1 in 25
From the last series.
from the last one.
Yeah.
And see, this Derek Chew, the 1 in 25 from the last one, I think was R1C0 did a 1 in 25 that looked just like this. And I think they all off that same family tree of artists. Man. I don't know, man. I think the Nakayama will still be a good one to pick up, but can't call it, man. It could easily end up being a $30 1 in 25 too.
Oh, it will be. It will be. People will forget about this book. Still doesn't have a clarified role. This one is mostly going to be focused on the villains. Nobody's going to. It may have some initial, interest coming out the gate, but after that, it'll just die around. And that's 6 months from now, people will be selling this for like $15-$16. Here's your 1/100 Momoko. I forget who this one was by. I don't know if Ultra can help me out with some of these because I forgot to put the titles in some of these.
It's okay. So this one, Limitation. And the only reason I even know that is because there was a joke going on where somebody called me Conan, and I pulled up the joke about, seeing your enemies driven before you and hearing the limitation of their women. Oh, geez, Larry Joe talking about unknown somehow exclusives. So if there's exclusives for Silk.
And that's what I'm saying. There's going to be a lot of that.
So that 125 should be $12. Do not spend any more than $12.
Yeah,
Well,
that's one.
No, hold on.
That was the extra cover price, right?
Which one are we talking about? The okay.
The one in the wedding dress.
Unknown Comics also has an exclusive for Silk.
They did
one
3,000 divided by 25. That's 120 of them. Let's run 10% damages. That's 10%. That's really not a light on 120, but
nope.
12 of them.
Yeah, that's like 12.
Still got an extra 100 copies of that book out there floating around.
100. And how much, Larry Joe? How much was they selling that 1 in 25 for? Let's just assume 25. They already sold out, man. But they only probably put like 60 of them up there. They didn't put all 120 of them up there because they ain't even got the books in yet.
So they probably held on to another.
They probably
$15.
put 60. They probably put 60 of them up
You
there.
said they were selling it for $15.
Damn.
So that's telling you they got a grip of them. You know what I'm saying?
How about this one that's up there right now for $30?
No, he's talking about the 1 in 25.
Yeah, they put the 1 in 25 up there for 15.
Well, that's because they got their own exclusive out there.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
know.
saying. Yeah. So, but I mean, for them, if they're selling it for 15, that means they got a grip of it. They just trying to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man,
Fuck that one up.
ain't no telling who else gonna do variants on that either, man.
I'm happy for Leslie Lee Lee. She deserves the recognition, but yeah, just sad it's not on a ratio.
Man,
Yeah, they definitely
sometimes,
fucked it up.
man, people don't want to admit it, but sometimes the store variant is a little better because at least the print run on it is controlled, whereas a ratio variant, it's really no control on how many of them is printed because you got what shops order, you got exclusives, and then they already overprinting the fuck out of these books anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, this publisher doesn't give out, or this store does not give out print runs on their books.
Yeah, they don't, but man, I doubt
they're not doing the minimum,
doing no
they
more
can
than
continue to print this into perpetuity. And this is the reason why I don't and will not ever trust exclusives unless it's a truly limited numbered exclusive.
But I like the number that Nine started with. He said $3,000. So.
Well, 160 actually, because they got probably did 1,000 versions too. So here's the thing about it though. On Marvel, I don't worry about that too much because it's so expensive to print the books that you really don't benefit anything. They got a minimum 3,000 print run, and then if it's a virgin, that's another 1,000. It's not like we're Image where they got a 500 minimum, but you could say, oh well, I'm gonna do 800 and just tell everybody it's 5. You know what I'm saying? That's more of a slippier slope. Did I say that right? For me,
slippery slope.
Yeah, slippery. That's more of a slippery slope for me. With the Marvel stuff, I'm not really worried about it because we already know 3,000 trade, 1,000 if it's a virgin out there, man. We already know that. So you already got something really just because if you think about it, for a 1 in 25 to get 3,000 of them out there, you would need a 90,000 print run to get 3,000 of a 1 in 25 out there, or maybe an 80,000 print run. I'm not sure, something like that. I mean, to me personally, if an artist, if some of their early work is on store exclusives, I think that might not be that bad of a thing. So it's ebb and flows. It's pros and cons with everything. But I'm not totally against artists that you like having a couple of store exclusives out there.
I mean, they're getting paid once the book is made. The artist is paid once the book is made. It's the comic book shop that's trying to recoup their money.
Yeah, that's trying to recoup the money. So
and that's why when it's bad art, they ain't really sitting on that shit, man. Oh boy. Whew.
Okay, moving on. Imitations. That's your HOTS. Ghost Lore number 1. This one is your 1 to 10. This is your. I think this one is your 1 of
25,
right? This one is your 1 in 50.
Top of line ratio. There's an unlockable, but who cares about the unlockable when you look at this Jenny Frisian right here? For Jenny Frisian fans, this one is her all day.
She is that bitch.
Yeah.
Now, the one that I was not tracking before is this one. Stand by. Is this one, which is a UV spot ghost variant by Zonjic.
Yeah.
Apparently, it will feature a UV treatment on a car side. So, I guess it's supposed to be kind of like glow in the dark, but it's not. You got to put it under the.
I think it's
sun.
more like at the door down at the bottom of the church. It's going to be more.
Yeah, priest.
Spot UV or whatever you want to call it, ultraviolet. So I think they also might be showing it in black and white to really make you not really get the cover. Like if it is a spot UV and they mean ultraviolet, it's going to be like those Dynamite covers where it's like, like iridescent kind of purples and blues and greens and stuff in places where it normally wouldn't be there. So this cover may look a hell of a lot better than this picture is giving off. Is all I'm saying.
I mean, it's a long ass church to be not a wraparound though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
a lot going on in that cover, perspective wise.
Part of the villain series.
Maleficent.
Yeah, there you go. So I tell you what, man, I never cared about this character at all until I went to this Italian circus with the kids. For those that don't know what an Italian circus is, just think of the fact that the Italians have a more liberal view towards sexuality in public places, right? So they had a bunch of Disney characters who were very they were more for the parents than they were for the kids, is what I'm trying to say. All right.
More sexualized.
Yeah. So it was all those weird porn parodies come to life in this Italian circus. It was weird, man. It was just too fucking weird. Now I know why I had to spend like fucking $65 per person to get into this fucking thing. Then there's your
Tap.
say what now?
I'm gonna tap out. My medicine's starting to kick in. So.
Okay, man.
I
Thank
love
you
you
for stopping
guys.
by.
Happy Easter. Happy Passover.
Yep, take it easy.
Don't eat too many peeps
Got it.
unless they're laced with whiskey. Rogan Gambit, the call. There's your Invincible Iron Man number.
That was a
4.
Dakar?
Yes, sir.
That Rogan Gambit, that's a Dakar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something's just off about this, man. It's not the call's greatest. Like his background on this is phenomenal. Rogue. Something's up with the Gambit face to me. It's like chiseled Alex Ross, but like his chin is like super long, man. Like
It looks like he might have an extra chromosome. To be fair,
I didn't want to say something like that, man, because I didn't want to draw that line.
but they're mutants, so that's not saying much. So,
I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a dope cover.
You get her finger though.
is she supposed to be able to touch him, or is that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she can
there's-
control her powers now and touch him whenever she wants to.
Oh, see, that's some
Wear
bullshit,
collar.
man.
Exactly.
That's some bullshit.
So how come they haven't started having?
They had her in the hot tub with them. She was wearing some inhibitor collar or some necklace or something. And then, of course, they were Mr. and Mrs. X in space. And they were doing it in space in 0G.
So how come they haven't had kids yet? Because they're supposed to go forth and multiply.
He's busting. He's definitely busting up in there.
Bust
That's
up.
the show.
Come on, man.
Jesus. All right, hold on. Let me pour my drink real quick. Then let's keep
He's shooting up the club like a mom. I wouldn't blame him. I'll be honest, this is the only time I've actually seen her drawn that I actually like the way she looks.
Really?
Yeah, she looks like she. So you know how she has that southern drawl, right?
Yeah, she looks like
she looks like
like
she's got that southern draw, and she just got off from the beauty out of the beauty parlor with that high
exactly.
hair. Yeah,
Mhm.
She was just sitting under the hair dryer.
Yeah, like red to go. She's ready to go.
man. You know what?
But it's like
You make a good-
80s. This reminds me of like Flashdance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I'll take it.
Cyndi Lauper. There you go. Perfect example right there.
Now that you mentioned it, that's what Gambit looks like too. Looks like he was old high school freaking Southern quarterback. And
Jimmy Ray.
yeah, Jimmy Ray and Baba Jean, and they hooking up at the school. All right. There's your Invincible Iron Man. Okay.
So
Is it really need a
That's 125.
So the Art Adams variant was on the previous one, right? And then, or on issue 4 in color. And then this is the black and white second print 1:25 ratio variant for issue 4.
Got a hockey sighting.
Hockey in the house.
What up, hockey?
So here's the thing. Is Iron Man one of the most popular Marvel comics?
I mean, does it really need a second print? Like, I didn't even know this thing was still going. Like,
Invincible Iron Man number 4 apparently needed a second printing for whatever reason. But you know how these second prints have been doing for Invincible Iron Man. There's the A cover, second print A cover at least.
I mean, are we really selling out?
No.
Man, there's some of this shit they're just reprinted just to fucking reprint it, man.
So
They're not selling out of that shit.
And here's what I'm getting at though. If these Iron Man second prints are fetching the kind of money that they've been fetching, is it because they're rare and there's that many Iron Man fans that are chasing after complete collections that they need to not miss this book? Or something else has got to be going on.
I think they're faking it, making it seem like the people want it.
Yep.
Exactly. Like, it's just making people, they're trying to make the perception that they're really, this book is hot. Like everybody, it needs a second printing. It's like, no, not really.
Go back one to the Rose Besh. That should have been on an X-Men book. I don't give a shit about seeing her. seeing
This is Iron Man 2?
This is Invincible Iron Man number 6. There's a 1/100 Rose Besh, and then there's an open order with the trade dress.
No one's going to order 100 copies of that book.
Well,
no, honestly, no one's going to order 100 copies of that book. Why would you order 100 copies of that book?
Because you think that nobody else is going to order 100 copies of the book.
No, man. Unless there's this book. I mean, I don't want to have to buy 100 copies of that book to get this book. And I think that's the only thing worth having. You know,
that's not no 1 in 100.
Oh, is it a 1 in 50 or a 1 in 100?
I'm saying that's not no 1 in 100 that I'm getting off my ass to
100.
buy. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I wouldn't buy that shit if it was open order, honestly.
Well, there's an open order with a trade dress that I know for a fact, and then there's an incentive ratio that's also along with it.
So you know that the trade dress is gonna fuck it up. Like no one's gonna, like.
Why we're so damn lazy? I ain't did the FOC in 6 months, and they still doing the same cheap bullshit, man.
And basically, one of Rose Besh's better covers too.
It is but that's what I mean. No, it's gonna go under the radar because no one's gonna order 100 copies to get it.
Maybe, but it's an Iron Man book, so this is where if it's on an Iron Man book and it's ordered enough, there'll be enough of them out there. But if it's on a book that like I'm saying, if this was on an Immortal X-Men book or an X-Men Red or any of the X books, Marauders or any of the books that she's actually fucking in, it would have been better.
And that's what I mean. So would an X-Men collector buy 100 copies of this book to get this?
Probably not, because it's an Iron Man book. They don't want shit to do with Iron Man.
So that's what I mean. Like, the only way that this is going to find its way on the shelf is if a shop orders 100 copies, and why would they do that?
But you know what's really funny is that They did kind of prelude to this kind of happening in the last Hellfire Gala, where Tony Stark was eyeballing her right in the chest and said, "Hey, your assets are looking quite well."
Yeah.
So we knew it was happening. You know, they were going to be pushing it. Plus Scott is over there, you know, hitting skins with Jean Grey again. So it is a 50 copy. Okay.
But even 50, man, 50 copies, man.
And the 1 in 25 is not all that either.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got to at least order 50 to get this book.
Coco Unlimited said there's going to be an Iron Boy second print variant. The iron that bit Iron Man.
Yeah, off. Is this Invincible Iron Man? Is this Riri or is this Tony Stark from this story?
This is.
She was on the cover of the first one, wasn't she?
She was on the cover of the Spider-Man homage variant. Again, they thrown all these different variant covers at you, making it really easy to order these 50 copies.
No, I get that part of it, and that's what I'm saying. But is the book warranting the shop ordering 50 copies or 10 copies of each, or because you're going to get stuck with those books?
Show me
unless you can return them.
You cannot.
See, so you're going to get stuck with those books. Do you want to put them in your back issue bins? Or
the A cover is actually not too shabby, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's one with him fighting
Wonder Man and Vision, I think.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with it. I can't even justify the second print, much less the 50 copy incentive. Like
they went to legacy numbering. Look at that.
656.
So basically, it's a throwback to when he fought the West Coast Avengers. So it's going to be showing Tony Stark in the silver and red armor.
Like that should have been the 1 in 25.
That should have been the 1 in 25. Agree. Absolutely agree. You know, maybe they should make the 1 in 25s the legacy numbered books.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, make that the 1 in 25 so you got people who are chasing the legacy number and they got to buy it to get that.
Just be throwing out these $1 million ideas for Marvel and they just be firing executives left and right. They could have been paying us this whole time.
Well, we got to remember one of the guys that was responsible for the comic stuff, Isaac Perlmutter. He's gone now.
Yeah, he got the shit can. Yeah, I know. He's also the guy responsible for the Inhumans series on ABC.
Yes.
So, even though it's probably the cooler one, I'll pass.
We need a TSA for comics.
Just some fucking gatekeepers.
I mean, just hire a good editor, man. Just somebody who loves the books enough to edit them. So this right here is what happens when Riri gets bit by Spider-Boy.
So then she is, and the book is about her. Then.
No, the book ain't got shit to do with her. She doesn't appear in it at all. She's just on this variant cover after Spider-Boy came up and bit her on the ankle. And said, "Oh, I like
Riri is in this book.
No, the book is about her. Right?
No, because it's about.
It's not
Iron
solely
Man.
about her, but she's in the book.
It's about Iron. Hold on. It's about Iron Man versus the West Coast Avengers.
Oh,
so it's a throwback.
I know she was in like the first 2 episodes, the first 2 books.
Well, she was
right, but this is a throwback story. This is the throwback story.
Oh, this issue is a throwback story.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is apparently it's one of those things where they say, what did Tony Stark do when he fought the West Coast Avengers, and how does that affect now? So apparently, like whatever he did in the throwback story that they're inserting into canon had some kind of ramifications to the current day. But Riri ain't got shit to do with this book. She doesn't appear inside of it. And she's just on this cover in this Spider-Man themed costume.
Not saying that's why I don't buy.
Well, and you know I'm a variant chaser, so like I do theme sets like sometimes when they're cool. But sorry, Marvel.
That's what I mean. Like that's not gonna be like.
Yeah, this is just going to be an open order. So you have this to open order, and you also have the Rose Besh to open order. And the A cover.
I know,
so
but I feel you, Sans, but I'm not buying 25 copies of this. Like, I don't want 25 copies of this. I don't want, there's nothing that.
Copies of the A cover and 25 copies of the Besh trade dress in order to just get one Besh version?
maybe. I mean, I just don't see it though. Like you're literally buying it for the incentive, and then you're eating the rest of these copies.
Yep.
You're completely eating all of them. Like,
And if there's nothing inside the book to help move it, like a first appearance or anything,
yeah, it's going to be fodder and grab bags and shit like that at the shop, or fill your.
Why are we still talking about this bullshit?
Yeah, cool.
Because it's maddening. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with Marvel. Like, Jesus.
We're trying to figure
they
out
have
why
not
Marvel
all. That's
doing
what
dumb
happened.
shit.
Marvel-
Like they don't do dumb shit every week.
Yeah, I know that. I ain't even fucking with Planet of the Apes.
But-
Here,
all right.
here we go with this racist ass bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with this whatsoever.
Well, it's not just racist. It's communist as well, right? You get a sickle and a hammer.
Uh-huh. But also, for all my friends tracking EM Gist, it's probably going to be one of his most underordered covers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Man,
just throwing that out there.
Eric is a badass, man. Fucking, I don't think he had a shitty cover in fucking 2 years, man.
Nope. But people still sleeping on that Deadpool Conan cover.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. All right. What's up?
Eric Gist, he's gonna blow up one of these. I don't know if it's gonna be this year or next year, but he's gonna have a cover that's just gonna.
Hey, Lucas, you see what Edwin Aguilar said in the chat?
Yes.
You got some books listed at 100 grand?
Yep.
Lucas is about his paper.
So yeah. So the reason why I do that is because I want people to contact me so they can order a correct amount of books, and then I send you. Then I take off that. I take that off, so you guys can order for the invoice and shit. Like,
To make sure you just do that so you make sure you're not getting spammed, huh?
No, because sometimes every once in a while I'll miss a ratio and
Like, why you got the Planet of the Apes for 100 racks?
I'll fuck up and it'll be like for $3.99. It'll be like a 1/100 for $3.99. We're like, oh shit, I'm gonna fucking order it. Like, oh no, I can't fucking let you do that. You're gonna get pissed off. So sometimes it's easier to freaking just put it as 100K, or I'll just have it as sold out. Just because if it's an FOC book and I got it sold out, that doesn't mean I can't get it for you. It just means that I want to make sure that you're not ordering some shit that we don't have all the proper admin stuff going on. Does it come with cocaine? Hey, shit! If you buy it, I'll make some shit happen. I mean,
Comes with 4 keys.
Fly a freaking 747 straight to your door.
Right. Hey, we'll bring it to the border. You got to get it over.
There is your Star Wars Jabba's Palace for the 25. Alex Maleev. But I don't understand. So because I'm pretty sure in the Mandalorian issue number 1, I feel like it was the same art, or am I mistaken?
No, the Mandalorian number 1. It had it was an Eric Gist cover. No, it was an Adi Granov cover.
Okay.
Man, see if I can find it, because Trinity did a fucking version at SDCC.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen this cover though before. Was it Bounty Hunter?
Yeah. All right. While Knights looks for that stuff, these are some of the ones that are coming up this week.
Yeah, it was. I think. Yeah.
I leave. Second print ratios everywhere. Second print ratios everywhere. Yeah, that was the same as the other 1 in 50, I think. Now it's a second print 1 in 25.
What?
The previous book, The Jabba's Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that? I think that artwork was previously used.
Yeah. It was just. I think it was an open order. Hold on, was that an open order?
No, that was the one with 50 Malieve. A Virgin didn't made it a 25 copy incentive on the second print.
Is that what this is? This is the second print?
Second print.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay.
All right. Okay, that makes sense. I won't buy it.
Yeah, it was a 1 of 25. Buy that boy Malieve.
Sands was on it.
Damn, the 1 in 100 was trash. Way to shit the bed, Ron Brown.
All right. West of Sundown, number 10 by Vault, has a great freaking cover. If you like horror. Then American Mythology Monsters, number 3. Some mermaid action on there.
Damn.
Man, I remember it was American Mythology book that came out, man, probably 2 years ago. It had the woman dipped in an acid bath from like the waist up. Y'all don't remember that book?
No, but I'm gonna have to look for it.
Man, let me show y'all, man. Oh my God, me and Mel.
I think I remember that.
Me and Mel made a killing on these. Mix.
Never Ender by Sumerian. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Usagi Yojimbo, number 1. The Kevin Eastman cover. I believe this one is it's like a high ratio. I want to say it's a 1 in 100.
It is a 1 in 100. There's an open order color. I believe it's the B cover of this.
All right.
It does look like old turtles, though.
If you're Spawn,
We're all spawns.
Spawn 340.
How cool would that be if we all were spawn powers? Oh, I got to give a shout out to Mel because he's been the only person in my circle of friends that has been about this book.
That's the only book he wants.
It's the only one he wants. He's like, I don't give a shit, man. I want it. I'm like, all right, man.
Well, we'll see if how my. I think I ordered a couple of these. See how my copies turned out.
That's a fucking expensive book.
It is.
It might hold up though because it got Miles, Gwen, Spider Punk.
It's a $9.99 cover price, ain't it?
That's the thing. That's the fucking
It's
thing.
$1,000 book. That's off the rip.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you see it, is you see some knucklehead out there for selling it for $100 or less, grab that shit. Grab that shit because this is not the Amazing Spider-Man, which has sells 100,000, close to 100,000. This is not Miles Morales or any of the other shit. Oh shit!
Oh
What
man!
up,
Do you want it just to change back to Big Remo? Because your thingy is like.
Damn,
What's going on, brother?
Oh,
I seen Ninth on here. I see Ultra on here. I said I haven't seen them in forever, so I had to come in and make a quick appearance. How you guys doing?
Man, waiting on you.
good, bro. How you doing?
This is so what's going on? Why did you decide to come back before Easter, man? Aren't you supposed to be dead for another couple of days?
Oh, bro, that's old world shit, bro. That's old world.
He's like, man, Lucas, why you bringing up old shit? Like,
Why you bringing
Come
up
on,
shit from
man.
the
You know
Old
the real
Testament?
deal is he had a twin look just like him take his place, man.
Yeah, yeah. How you guys doing? Ninth, what have you been up to, brother?
Shit, man, working a government job. Shit,
Like doing what? Like, are you working like defense or something?
man, some shit we can't talk about.
Yeah.
He got some NDAs he got to sign in order to
yeah.
in order
Yeah.
to go to work.
Nice not trying to get wrapped up in that release of top secret documents that fucking
Yeah, I had time last year because I was just, selling comics, but now, hey, when you actually got to go to work for your money, man, it's a different grind. So I just been doing the YouTube sales with Mel and Josh and Phil and Lucas. So outside of that, man, that's been like the only thing that I really had time to do for comics besides posting on IG and maybe hopping on YouTube every once in a while. But you know, I miss this shit sometimes. But every time I get online, it's always some comic drama. I say, man, let me watch McClay. Let me see what the comic. Let me see what the comic drama
I'm
is.
alert, baby. So
Oh, man.
I gotta throw some shade out to Renovision and Marco because they're all butthurt that right now. But it's okay, you guys. I'm just fucking with you. Like I gotta call them to make sure that everything's you know what I mean, like chill out. Like this ain't no real drama.
Yeah, people gotta stop taking themselves so serious. That's all it is.
But see, here's the thing about it. A lot of people, they communicate with people online every day that they never meet in person. So once you meet people in person, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, I done hung out with everybody on here except Remo, which that's gonna happen in May. So I kind of know like Ultra is way more chill in person than he probably is with people online. McClay, same way. Damn, I ain't never met Lucas before. So after Remo, Lucas would be the only one. Lucas would be the only person left. But everybody, like, man, even if you think about probably some people who more quote unquote hated in the community, like a lot of people quote unquote hate Comic Time, never met him, but he actually a pretty cool dude in person. And so it's like people think a certain way about folks. Like once you actually meet him and hang out with him, you're like, man, you know what? He's really not a bad guy at all. And it's just online bullshit, man. Like a lot of people who fucking go back and forth online over stupid shit, if they actually just sit down and fucking ate a meal together or smoke a blunt together or had a drink together, they'll probably be cool.
Yeah, for sure. I talk about it all the time where I think that the best thing that happens is when we're able to hang out with each other, you know, at the end of a night during con season, and you know, like you said, get a drink with each other, and you know, break some bread and that type of stuff, and that's super important. But don't get me wrong, every once in a while you do meet one of those weirdos, like freaking. I throw his name out there as being a weirdo because he is fucking weird, but he's very talented. That being Ben Templesmith. That dude is fucking weird, bro. Next level weird. But that dude was like my favorite all-time fucking artist for the longest time, man. And they say don't meet your heroes. Every once in a while, there's one. Every once in a while, there's one. But you're right. For the most part, I think most people are cool. You know, it's comic books. It is what it is. But that also being said, listen, man, it's not just in comic books where you meet these people who can't get along with others.
It's everywhere, man.
Very well true.
So. It's painful to me though, because this is supposed to be animal books. This is supposed to be fun, right? You know, this is supposed to be a stress reliever. You know, and people just coming at you all types of crazy ways and shit. I mean, like, hey, how come you didn't talk about this shit, or how you're fucking man? I'm just talking about the shit I fucking love, man. Like, and I always offer people like, hey, man, if you want to come on this fucking show and talk about what you fucking love, that's what you better be fucking drunk or fucking high. That's fucking rules. That's supposed to be the fucking rules.
See,
come on.
Ninth is coming out for what is it? Short box.
Yeah, short box. Yeah.
So he's coming out for that, and it's on a Sunday. But see, my birthday is Friday, and Ninth gets here like 9 a.m. on Friday, so he gonna have to fucking kick it with me for like 2 days prior to him even making it to the con. So
what con is this?
Hopefully he makes it. I'm kidnapping his ass for at least 2 days. My wife gonna let me go out, so I'm gonna be me and Knife's gonna be running around.
What con?
Short box live. I think it's the first one that they doing. So it's gonna be nothing but comic books. They're gonna have a bunch of comic vendors, creators, and all of that there. So that's one of the main reasons I want to go, because I'm like, man, shit, nothing but comic books. Because I think most of the conventions we go to is all sorts of shit going on. So I'm like, man,
yeah, this at the convention center right across the street from Levi Stadium, and that place that's like hoity-toity. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't like the That used to be where the cons were back in the day until they couldn't afford to go there no more.
Are you guys? Any of you guys planning on going to San Diego?
Man, I hope I can because that was fun, man. That was probably the best con I went to last year. Man, that was fun.
I'm offended. I'm just kidding.
Man,
MegaCon was last year. They just had
MegaCon was fun, but you got to realize everybody was there. Brian was there, James and them was there. Man, everybody was there, man.
San Diego is a bigger con though, man, and I get it. Like that's like SDCC and NYCC. Those are the two. I went to NYCC when I was like 13 fucking years old, man, and I was blown away by how big the Javits Center is. First off, and just being in that kind of con, like that's a pretty high bar. Like if you start at that kind of con, bro, you everything else is going to pale in comparison.
Yeah, that was
Santa Clara, California.
See, now I want to go back to NYCC this year and just go as
what does it do?
Just go, you know. Because San Diego, I kind of got to go, even though I was doing like whatnot shows. It was at the Whatnot house, so I didn't. When I went to the convention, I was just going to buy shit and talk to people, and help Ann out a little bit. New York, man, we had the whole booth and trying to do the exclusive. I wouldn't want to do that shit again. I just want to go to New York just to fuck around in the city and go to the con, you know, during the day.
So the guys in the chat are talking about MegaCon this year. I wasn't able to attend this year, just fatherly, and they changed the date, like moved it around and shit like that.
Yeah, it was a weird time.
Next year it's going to be in the beginning of February. So if you guys are going to be wanting to escape winter, you know, come down to Florida, we got you. But they sold out of parking on Friday at certain lots. And then Saturday, it was absolutely crazy, and people were talking about they let in way too many people.
See, remember the same thing happened last year because the Wi-Fi kept fucking up, and that's when Phil got hot and stormed out on Whatnot.
Because the Wi-Fi wasn't working. Like,
then Comic Tom stormed out, then Phil stormed out. That shit was funny, man. And
that was when Dennis was going off on everybody, right?
And Dennis was going off in NYCC, but
no, that was there too. No, that was in Orlando. Hey,
it wasn't bad as NYCC. It wasn't bad as NYCC.
The clip of him doing the tech support request is from Mega.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, then me and Aaron got, since Phil left and Comic Tom left, me and Aaron locked down the whole evening and made a shit ton of money at MegaCon because all the Wi-Fi just started working again. We're like, all right, shit.
Yeah, once a whole bunch of people left.
Yeah, I'm like,
what a difference a year makes, huh?
Man, look, man.
Yeah,
honestly, last year most of the cons was pretty good, but man, it's just hard to compete with San Diego and New York, man. It's just too hard to compete with them two because there's so many vendors there, so much shit to see, so much shit to do, so many people. Like even outside of comics, it was so many people that I knew at both of those cons. It was just hard to compete with any other con. Like Denver was cool. Like I said, MegaCon was cool, but San Diego and New York, it was just different, man.
Yeah,
all the way around. It was just different.
Are you selling many books other than doing the Saturday sales?
Man, my eBay has been popping. eBay's been good. I really haven't got a chance to do Whatnot. I did a Whatnot sale around Black History or sometime around there. But I don't got the time to set up for Whatnot like I used to. So,
bro,
but I'm gonna hop back on there
PayPal right now. I'll tell you that.
I haven't been on Whatnot. I can't remember the last time I was on Whatnot, and I want to get back on. The problem is that I don't hear anything good about it for people that have like taken breaks and that went to go jump back on and stuff like that. I
thought you said people who are doing card breaks because I've seen the news on those.
Oh yeah, I don't even fuck with that. I would never buy into a card break on Whatnot ever. Not even if one of you guys was doing it, I'd be like, fuck, I don't know where you guys got the product from. You know what I mean?
Where you get your cards from?
Yeah. But that being said, like eBay, IG sales, YouTube, I think that's the way to go right now for the most part. Yeah, I seen Ultra. You started a new account just for that, right?
Yeah. Collection Curations is my IG sales page. Appreciate the follows. I tried to do a 100 subscriber giveaway. And I said, if I get 100 subs by noon, I'll do a giveaway. I had like 70 something, and I said, you know what? I'll give them until noon Pacific, and it was 98. I'm like, motherfuckers! I got to do a 200 subscriber giveaway now. So get on the ball. Follow me, collection_curations. You'll see some amazing shit. And I'm just getting started. But today I had a little bit of a busy day. Kid wasn't feeling too hot, so like I got nothing done. But right now, my dining room table covered in comic books. It's crazy.
So I'll tell y'all something funny that happened. One of the last times I had a Whatnot sale was when that Eminem variant had dropped. So I had just got mine back from CGC. So I was like, oh, I'll go live on Whatnot. I'll throw it in the buy now. Maybe somebody will get it. So I did the sale and it didn't sell. So I was like, oh, right, it's cool. I just throw it on eBay. So I ended the sale. But when you end the sale, it takes a little bit for it to register. So I shipped out my books that sold. And a few weeks later, I get a message from a dude saying, hey, man, I bought that Eminem variant for $1,500, but you haven't shipped it out. It's been like 9 days. So I was talking to like Mel and Phil and Josh, and I was like, man, this dude is saying he bought my Eminem variant on Whatnot, but I already sold that shit on eBay. So I was like, man, let me go check my Whatnot account. Finally get home, log into my Whatnot account. Sure enough, he bought that shit. Ooh, I was like, fuck. Luckily, I was able to get another one for way cheaper than what he bought it for. And I was like, dude, I said, you can still get the book. I was like, but the price. He was like, no, send me my book. I'm like, shit, you ain't got to tell me twice. Get that shit off. Now that book down was like $750, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, bro. Everything's dropping, dude. Not just
I'm like, shit.
Well, not everything. I've seen some pretty big upticks on certain books, but it's the quality of the book that determines the value of it lately that I've seen. And there's been a lot of books that got, I think, a lot of unfair attention just because of people trying to put the spotlight on them. And it's the market correction. And it's when people don't have the ability to fudge the numbers to make it look like shit's selling for good numbers, we're now starting to see what stuff's actually selling for. And it might be a little bit eye-opening.
And people just getting smarter too, man. People just getting smarter about what they buy, But crazy thing though, I'll tell you one of the things that's selling solid on my eBay. Whatnot did a variant for Wakanda #1 and Namor Conquered Shores #1. And it's Boss Logic did the covers, and they're not a connecting cover, but they're symmetrically opposed. So like it's Namor is in the water and he's like from here down, and Black Panther is in the water from here down, and it's supposed to be like they're looking at each other from across the water. So those have been selling on my eBay for months. Sorry, Jack, I put some of them shits on eBay, but fuck, that shit's been selling on my fucking eBay for months, and I would put them on Whatnot way cheaper than on eBay, and people still wasn't fucking with it.
You can't sell anything on Whatnot that isn't super, super fire hot or a brand new retailer exclusive that like you've been following this retailer forever and you just buy everything from them. Because I'll tell you what, man, I think this is the year where retailer exclusives take a hit, major hit. I really do. I think there's going to be a ton of retailers that are dropping out. I've had a ton of people hit me up and tell me stories about retailers contacting them, asking them to buy out their old product, and they've got tons of it left, and those retailers that are being asked to buy it out are straight up saying no. Like, why? If you can't sell it, what do you think? Why do you think I could sell it? And that's a big deal. And a lot of retailers, and we all know this, if you're not good at what you do, aka a Bird City, right? I really respect Anthony at what he's able to do and pick pretty decent books to where he's got a pretty good scorecard of, you know, selling the majority of what he offers, right? He sells out. Like, not necessarily sells out, but he could, where he's not sitting on 90% of the print run, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of people out there that are still sitting on these large print runs. They're lying about the print runs.
Well, yeah, and
they're lying about the print run.
Jenny Frisian made a remark that said that there's a bunch of artists who are actually purchasing their own store variants through partnerships with, you know, certain stores and posing them as an exclusive when it's really just the artist putting that shit out. Basically, any one of us here on this panel right now could draw and do a variant cover for some of our favorite comics, sell it as an exclusive, and even if we weren't a famous artist, we could pass it off like we're a pretty popular artist because we have our own store exclusive. Ding, ding, ding. Next thing you know, you started picking up, getting contracts, getting offers for doing regular cover work or regular interior work. And it's basically how people are using it to jumpstart their career, and they're financing it through other means to get them.
Good for them.
I don't mind that.
This is so this is what I'm trying to put onto these guys who are watching us right now, that if you're an artist and you want to try to get your name out there and you don't want to, you know, play in these games, you know, that some of these, you know, exclusive makers are doing to try to like circumvent you out of the loop, do it yourself.
Maria Wolf did that.
Yeah, see that's like Bird City did. Brooks Kim first published artwork, which I think not just them, but I think more retailers need to focus on stuff like that, like finding new artists, finding new writers. You know, a lot of them. Oh, James Tinian doing another book. Okay, let's everybody do an exclusive for that. But that's like when 8 Billion Genies came out, only 2 stores did exclusives for that, Bird City and T-Fall. Nobody else did exclusives for it. And the only reason T-Fall did one is because the artist, I think the artist wanted to do an exclusive for it, and T-Fall was just like, all right, we'll do it with you, man. But nobody wants to support new writers, new artists. I remember at C2E2 last year, I met a guy named Cameron Johnson. They know him from A Hole in the Ground, and he had a book called Freezer Burn. So I went to a lot of the whatnot sellers. I was like, hey, this dude has a new IP that he's already shopping. He didn't already talk to some people about it. He only did like 25 foils and maybe like 100 regular covers. It was a really low print run. I was like, let's just go buy that shit out and push it on whatnot, you know, and get some heat, you know, on his name. But since nobody really just, see, if Comic Tom would have said, yeah, let's go buy this guy's shit out and push it on whatnot, everybody would have been with it. But since it was me saying it, nobody want to listen. But see, now
he was on the show. We had him on the show.
That's why I bought him on the show, right? But now his comic book is in stores nationwide. Now, I'm not saying that he's doing incredible numbers, but he's one step closer than he was last year. And his shit is published now, right? But nobody wants to take a risk on the underdogs. But sometimes, when you take a risk on the underdog, it's going to pay off bigger than trying to chase something that's already big, than chasing the next James Tinian book. There's really no money in that, because, especially with the exclusive game, because everybody's going to do an exclusive on it, right? That's what made that Bird City 8 Billion Genies, that Mario homage, was nobody else did an exclusive on it.
You got to spin them around like that.
So it's kind of like, shit, when that book came out, people wasn't even buying it like that, right? And then they realized oh shit, damn, they got option news on it. And I remember Phil, Vintage Toys and Comics, was the first one that told me, hey, Amazon is going to option this shit. You need to hit up Ant and ask about them genies. And I was like, fuck, man. I was like, all right, I'll do it. So I hit Ant up. He sent me some. And then I was on a plane to Denver, and I was just thinking, I was like, damn, Ant said he all out of that book. But, you know, sometimes retailers work together, right? So I looked up one of his partners on eBay, and I bought all of that shit out while I'm on the plane. And that was one of the biggest flips I had last year. And the book at this time, you like I said, I went and bought them out retail on eBay. So anybody could have went and bought it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a shot on this. Because a real investor.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. I can see it. I'm going to take a shot on this, right? So I look at somebody like Cameron Johnson. I'm like, man, like, think about what his OA is probably. You could probably negotiate a good deal with him on his OA, or you could get sketches, but nobody don't know where this kid is going to be in 10 years because he's creating his own fucking universe. And we don't know how that's going to resonate in 10 years. But nobody's paying attention to that right now. And there's a lot of creators right there. You don't know who the fuck the next Todd McFarlane is going to be. Right? But that's how you make your money is, okay, let me find something that nobody is looking at, but I can see some beauty in, right? And you buy low, and hopefully one day you can sell high. But man, but like I said, that's just me. And the power that people have today, and what I was trying to get a lot of whatnot influencers and sellers to see is, if we all jump behind one small guy, we got enough people following us to not only change that person's trajectory, but they can help us out along the way. Right? So you don't know what we can push somebody into, because look, even though these superhero movies ain't doing as good, Disney Plus, Hulu, look, a lot of these streaming shows ain't doing what these studios thought they would do. They still spending billions on TV rights every year. So you never know
They don't use them.
What's going to be next. Last of Us was a hit. No, people thought, oh, it might be good. It might not. Really didn't know. Shit, that shit knocked most people socks off. So me personally, I'm going to always bet on the underdogs. I'm going to always bet on somebody that's willing to invest in them, that's willing to invest in themselves instead of chasing a Spider-Man 7 first Spider-Boy that nobody's gonna be talking about in 2 weeks. We'll be on to some other shit. But that's just me personally. I still got fucking 15, 20 copies of Brooks Kim first cover that I'm never gonna sell. I'd rather wait till I'm dead, and if Brooks Kim blow up then, I'm good with it.
Or that OA you got.
or the OA. Or the OA. But
well,
sorry, Lucas, I didn't mean to hijack the show.
Well, no. So you just gave me the perfect segue to what I wanted to talk about first before I go and finish the show out with the new releases. You just said that there are some books that are there that are probably lower in value now than when you bought them. Did you know that if you take a loss on the books you sell, you can actually deduct that on your taxes?
Did you know? I will never pay taxes on the comic books I sell because I have a lifetime loss of well over $100,000, and I will never sell that much of comic books. So I'm not really worried about it.
Sometimes you might be missing out, right?
Say that again. Say that again.
All right. So
or
Lucas is saying that you can write off if you buy a comic, if you keep your inventory, like tracking, like I bought this variant cover for $160, but I was only able to sell it for $100. Lucas is saying that you can write off the $60 loss. But
hold on.
You got a
So,
caveat.
yeah, there's caveats. So let's get into it. All right. First, let's put it into context. We're talking about collectibles. It doesn't just have to be comics. It can be trading cards, Funko Pops, Beanie Babies, all that shit, right? So for the IRS, if collectibles are sold at a gain, you're going to be subject to a long-term capital gains tax of up to 20%. Of course, you don't want that. Um, it's disposed of after more than 1 year of ownership, right? That means you held on to it, you were waiting for your big up, and then you ended up selling it after a year, you get taxed at 28. But if you sold it before that year, then you're going to get it's going to be at the regular income tax rate, which is right around 15%. Collectibles sold at a gain are subject to ordinary income tax rates, right? What you need to know is, and kind of keep in mind and keep a track of record of, is your cost basis to calculate your taxable gain, plus any cost, fees, commissions with that purchase. That means your eBay taxes, your eBay memberships. If you're selling on Shopify, if you selling on fucking whatnot, you get fucking charged a fee with that. You need to figure keep track of that shit, because you at one point you will be able to deduct those losses as well. um, Now, there are a few things you may want to consider when it comes to collectibles. Notably, selling a collectible less than 1 year means you are taxed as an annual income, 20%, blah, blah, blah. I've already said that. Um, Now, here's where you guys need to pay attention. You will not be able to claim a capital loss if you use a collectible for personal use, such as some of y'all hang your fucking comics on the fucking walls and shit. Well, that's a decoration. You cannot freaking claim that as a capital loss. However, if you claim a business or you claim the home office deduction, you may be able to claim that comic on your home office deduction as a decoration, right? Otherwise, if you wanted to claim it as a capital gains loss, it means you brought it in, you received it, you put it up on for sale somewhere, and then you sold it off before that freaking year, but you sold it at a loss. Now you can actually sell it, deduct the loss, the cost basis loss. Now here's where it gets tricky. Your retail price of the average comic book is like around, let's just say $3.99 or $5.99, right? You end up selling it at a loss for $3.45. You can deduct that loss between $3.99 and $3.45. Okay, plus the cost of your fees and cost of all that other stuff. This is what we should be doing and all this. I know Ultra said earlier that, hey, if I don't sell it for more than $40, then it's not even worth my time. Well, it all depends on like what, like if you're like some of us, and you might have taken out a loan against your IRA or your retirement or something like that, and you need some type of deductible out there to fucking counterbalance that. This is where that type of stuff comes in, because even though I made a profit off of selling some of my comics, the individual cost based loss is what I'm deducting, and I'm winning out. It's all in the it's all in the math. And if you have any questions about that, let me know. I'm not a CPA or a CFA. I did work for the IRS back in the day, so I know my shit. Um, so if you ever have any questions about these capital gains losses, you can definitely hit me up on Children's Beans and Cornbread.
I just want to say taxation is theft. Abolish the IRS.
If you're 16, yes, you will never be able to make that money back.
Did we click freeze?
No,
Don't send pictures of your walls to the IRS.
just stoned.
That's what I was going to say next.
Chillers, you need to say, I'm not a financial professional. Central people are going to come at you. I did work for the IRS back in the day, and you don't need to necessarily be a professional. I am directly quoting. In fact, what I have up here is directly from the IRS website, topic
Yeah, that's from the
409.
IRS right there.
Apparently he's right, because have you seen the people working at H&R Block?
Yeah, they're not CPAs.
Fuck H&R Block, man. Fuck them motherfuckers. Those are the biggest crooks. They're bigger crooks than the IRS.
Okay, so I'm so glad that you pulled my attention back to the slide. Okay, here's the deal, right? You can only deduct so much, right? So if your capital losses exceeded your capital gains, the amount of the loss that you can claim to lower your income is $3,000. That's it. However, if your actual losses were more than that, you could actually roll that over to the next year. Once again, it's all about the bookkeeping. You can roll that over to the next year and try and deduct that on the next year. Boom. There you go.
So I didn't use my PayPal very much last year. Like I wholesaled some books to some friends, and I went to MegaCon and I sold one of the McFarlane foils that I picked up there, and that's like really it. And then I hadn't really used it very much for anything other than purchases. And then I go to sell, and these motherfuckers put a $300 limit on my account. And then when I went to try to exceed the, get the limit changed, they're like, no, you can decline. You're gonna have to come back and ask next month. Like, the fuck you talking about? And they're all kind of withhold.
Lately.
What's that?
They've been hitting a lot of people up with that. I've had at least three people in the last 2 weeks tell me that they had PayPal do that to their eBay, or eBay do that to their account or something.
Or no, this is directly through PayPal, and I'm on the phone with customer service yesterday trying to get this shit worked out. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Why are you holding the funds? And she's like, thank you for being a 15-year member of PayPal. I'm like, yeah, that's right, fucking 15 years. So what the fuck is going on with my account? And she's like, well, you have to establish your history. I'm like, no, I fucking do not. I established my history with my history from fucking 2008 when I started fucking selling shit. Like, no, you can fuck off with that. They're like, no, you need to reestablish. Like, well, I can tell you this right now. I'll be refunding this person and having them pay me through a different means, and I won't be using this service if this is how this is going to be. And they're trying to withhold anything over $300 that comes through my fucking account, and not guarantee. And I'm like, so what are they going to hold every dollar above 300? She's like, well, I can't confirm if we're going to hold every dollar. I'm like, so you don't even know how much they're going to fucking hold? Like, I'm not getting any answers from you guys. And then when I went and tried to refund the guy, they're fucking holding the funds and saying it's going to take up to 5 business days to refund somebody.
Right.
Yeah. That's
So this goes back to some of those conversations that we've had before Ultra, where remember the whole Silicon Valley Bank thing, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of these other financial institutions, they're scared to just shell out money, whereas there was always these offers like, hey, you want your money today? We can make sure that you have your fucking money today. Well, they can't do that anymore because they're short on cash because the interest rates are getting so fucking high. Everybody's freaking scared, and they want to make sure that they've got enough money so in case they get audited, which the FTC and the SEC are trying to do a whole bunch now that they got called out in Congress for not doing what they were supposed to be doing. They're trying to make sure that when they get audited and when they do those little bank checks, that they've got enough cash on hand. And even though this is not the money that they should be showing, they use customer money like yours to show that they have enough cash on hand.
So here's what I was going to ask you guys. What is the next best seller safe PayPal alternative?
I like Square. I've been using Square lately, but I've only been using it a little bit.
I won't give Jack Dorsey any money. Fuck him.
Is that Dorsey? Is that
That's
who
Jack
that is?
Dorsey's product, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I don't know. I've been bouncing back and forth. So I use.
Is Square something you could do peer to peer with though? Like have people pay you through an app or something like that?
I don't know.
I know you do like right? You have a little Square. You can swipe cards through it.
Yeah, you can swipe cards through it, but I just use it for to send invoices.
Yeah.
Well,
what about Zelle?
Like send invoices that way. I mean, Zelle's good too. Like if you have a bank that uses Zelle, I guess that's okay. But the fees for Zelle, they're like bank fees. That's my problem with that.
Well, it's Chase basically.
Cash App is Square. What? I didn't think they're the same thing.
I know they're.
Are they
Didn't
murdered?
the CEO for Cash App just get stabbed?
Yeah, he just got fucking stabbed in a very rich neighborhood in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Yeah, they're supposedly like the rent in that neighborhood's like in the $4,500 range, and this dude.
Yeah, but I mean, Frisco's Frisco. Like,
but what I heard is the dude got stabbed and was trying to fucking flag down people to help save his fucking life, and nobody would stop to help him.
Well, it's Frisco, man. Like, people rob, you get robbed, man. Like, that's just Frisco, man. Like, they didn't know who he was.
Yep, and
they didn't care. They were just robbing somebody.
Too busy being covered in shit in the bad neighborhoods and having the good neighborhoods have their fucking windows busted in and fucking everything stolen out of their cars. So
that's everywhere out here. It's not just in Frisco. Frisco is just like a microcosm of the Bay Area, but it's like that's just how it is out here. It's like people are getting randomly robbed. Like, you know what I mean?
You know, the conspiracy theorists are all like, it was a target.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because of, I mean, and I won't say that they're wrong, but I'm saying, like, you can pay anybody to do what you want them to do. You know what I'm saying? Especially somebody who's broke. Like, I mean, it's like you can find a random person in Frisco that would have did that for you. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the crazy part about it. But it's just the fact that, like, all of these apps all do the same shit. It's just you got to find the one that's like.
So I mean, it's like we should all just fucking boycott these fucking apps and start accepting Bitcoin directly. I mean, that's really what they're fighting against right now. That's why
you need the medium to be able to accept it, or the wallet. You know,
your wallet, yeah, your crypto wallet should. Yeah. Like, I have crypto.com, so I mean, like, I'm already there. Like, I know that I can get digital currency, but it's just like, you know, having people pay me that way and be trustworthy as far as, you know, shipping, generation, that kind of stuff.
I mean, I would just want to make sure I'm secured. I'm getting the crypto, like I'm getting the value. You know what I mean? Like I'm not opening up and getting hacked. Take the rest of my money when they're supposed to be transacting the money they owe me. You know what I mean, or whatever. So, I mean, a lot of this shit is just kind of like. Remember, I was telling you, like, even when at my job, they're flirting with the possibility of paying us with Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like some people
the rumor is it's going to happen by July.
Yeah, like people want to do it. Like they're like, I want to be paid in Bitcoin. It's like, okay, if you want to, but we got to figure out if we can. You know what I mean? Or, you know, how it's going to work? Because
no, there were some NFL players that took Bitcoin on their contract and took a fucking huge loss when Bitcoin took a dive.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're fucking with your livelihood at that point. You know what I mean?
Same with the dollar, though. I mean, the dollar, the dollar gets fucked.
But the dollar is still a tangible thing. If I got 20 of them, I can go trade them for $20. You know, something worth $20. Whereas Bitcoin is like every day you wake up, it's like the stock market. You have $5,000 a day. Tomorrow you have $1.75. Like, you know what I mean? Just
Bitcoin is an EMP away from being bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So it's like
low orbit nuclear explosion, and all of our digital currency went bye-bye. Not only the Bitcoin, but the Doge, the USDC, the crypto.com. It's all gone. Bye-bye. You try to recover it once the grid comes back up.
Zelle is part of Chase. It's like Chase's application, you know, their app for accepting money if you don't have Chase, you know what I mean? But they're still affiliated with Chase. And the second question, the whole house is sick. That's where you hear the coughing from. They're all sick. They ain't coughing from the herb smoke. If anything,
they trying to get out of going to church on these Sundays.
Yeah. We trying to justify her sitting on the couch playing my PlayStation before I got a chance to play it. She's already playing it. So. You know, but yeah, no, I mean, I might accept some in Bitcoin just to build up my wallet. You know what I mean? Like I might, like say one month, let me get paid in Bitcoin and go back to cash, and you know, kind of do it like I do my 401k. You know what I mean? Like put some, take, you know what I mean? Raise it up, lower it, raise it up. You know, just depending on how I'm feeling. You know.
I just hope to God we're still able to you know buy stuff with dollars and not wipe our butt with Venezuelan money.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I keep cash. You know, I don't carry cash, but I keep cash around just in case.
You know, Venezuela has dumpsters of cash, right?
I believe it.
Like,
But I mean, as far as like, if the U.S. dollar is trying, the dollar physically is trying to get away with it, then I think if they get into Bitcoin, it's going to be their own Bitcoin. It's not going to be Bitcoin. It's going to be the U.S.'s version of Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like they're going to have their own cryptocurrency. Like they're not going to be like, okay, we're going to use, um, uh, you know, Bitcoin. Because they're not going to do that.
well, look at Hockey's newest message down there, Lucas.
Google says Zelle is owned and operated by the Early Warning Services, which is co-owned by 7 of the nation's biggest banks, which means they are required to report. They may not distribute 1899, but they're required to report any weird stuff that's going on. So,
yeah.
So
Chase, if you go on Chase's app, though, it says on there like, do you want to use Zelle? Do you want I'm doing all my banking on my Chase app, but they're like, hey, do you want to put transfer money from Zelle or so that tells me that they're open for me to take cash from people on Zelle and then move it into my bank account. You know what I mean? Like I can transfer money from Zelle to my bank account.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bounce out because, but I want to give everybody this information. Supposedly, right now, the whole United States is able to see the Northern Lights. Now, I don't know if that's super true, but the Northern Lights may be traveling south and could be seen across the mainland United States from the west to east coast Thursday and Friday night. So there you go. So maybe go out and take a look into the sky if you get a chance before the night is through. And
now, Brian, last week, Brian, last week, did you miss, or were you able to see the planets in the sky aligned? That shit was fucking awesome. I was able to see it from my house, but then again, I'm out in fucking cow pasture mountain area. That was pretty awesome, and I was surprised that I was actually able to see the colors, the different colors of Neptune, Mars over there. I was surprised by that shit.
Yeah. And for those people that don't know, you can always see Mars, Jupiter, and Venus in the night sky. They're very easy to find. I mean, Mars is basically orange, so you'll see it, and Venus, I believe, is it Jupiter that's the brightest or Venus that's the brightest? I can't remember. But that being said, man, I'm always looking up. You know me. I'm looking for them aliens. So we'll see how that plays out. By the way, if you guys are planning on buying any men's grooming shit, use promo code BOGCAST. Manscaped, 20% off.
You got the link?
I'm about to buy one.
If you got the link, put it in a private chat and I'll post.
Yeah, for real.
Manscaped.com. Manscaped.com. Promo code BOGCAST. And you can get 20% off and free shipping. So, yeah.
What was the code again? Podcast?
I've been eyeballing that motherfucker on Amazon for the last month.
And they sent me out a one of those free boxes where it comes with like a face groomer, the lawnmower 4.0, some ball toner, and some other shit, and then some boxer briefs, and then some
really? Jesus.
Yeah.
Tell them to hook us up, man. Come on, consider we love free shit. We got some old men with fucking beards. I mean,
not everybody's got Dave Chappelle money to be Botox balls,
Amen. You should check out that ball toner, baby. So, all right, guys. Much love.
Much love to you too, man. Thanks for stopping by, man. Definitely, don't be a stranger, man. Keep coming on back, man.
Hey, man, I'm doing my. You guys know I'm always. I love this show, and I do my best to come on whenever I can. So, we'll see you guys tomorrow night.
All right, brother. Out.
Peace out.
Oh man, that was comic book Jesus, man. Freaking nice for him to stop by in this this Easter Saturday. Yeah, man, freaking taxes, man. Freaking, I was actually scared this year. I thought I was gonna get fucking hit big, but thanks to immaculate bookkeeping that I accidentally did.
You know what I did? I just kept all my receipts so that if they audit me, I'd be like, here you go.
Well, so for 2023, this is what people should be doing, right? Make if you're selling comic books or anything, don't use your personal account for all that stuff. Get a business account. Use that credit card um, for all your comic book stuff, related stuff. If you can, look into getting your own little business. Doesn't have to be bullshit LLC, right? I hear about LLC. No, it doesn't have to be all that. But register yourself as a freaking business. That way, every time you go to freaking drop off stuff at the freaking post office or go to the comic book shop to fucking get your shit, you can deduct the gas that you use for that. You can deduct any type of decorations, comic book decorations, anything that you freaking buy. You can deduct your comic book convention freaking fees. You can deduct, there's all types of crazy shit you can fucking deduct. If you're buying stuff on eBay, the fees that you use to freaking buy or sell, you can fucking deduct that. The charges on your credit card that you're getting for buying all this stuff, you can deduct that as well. There's all types of great freaking stuff that you can deduct. You just got to make sure that the bookkeeping is correct. And the reason why I say, hey, make sure you get a different account is because say you're not great at bookkeeping. Well, there's if you use like H&R Blocks app or TurboTax's app, they can pull in all the stuff from that credit card that you're using and make and measure it for you, so you don't have to do all that bookkeeping. And they'll just pull it in for you and say, "Hey, he used gas. This was a business expense. This was that and that other thing." Boom, and they'll fucking just run on down the line and they'll do it for you.
The IRS turned into old dirty bastard.
Would you care to answer that for you, or is that too
Bitch better have my money.
Well, it's see, that's the thing. You're going to be paying up front. You just it really does come down to fucking bookkeeping. You're like your own little fucking accountant. Fucking.
But the government coming for their cut.
They are.
If you keeping track or not, apparently they like no, that's mine.
Right.
First thing needs to happen is we need to abolish the IRS.
I wouldn't say all that because
no, I would.
They do.
You know why? Because it was only instituted as a means of supporting the war effort, and there is a lot of other ways that the government could be funded, but there's too many people on that government paycheck right now.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah, the thing is that they do a lot more stuff than taxes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I know what them warmongers be doing.
I know what you mean.
So here's a question. What did you guys think of this? So let's see. James Gunn is hooking up with Mangold, James Mangold, who is going to do something with Swamp Thing.
I think that's perfect because that's the guy who did Logan.
I think that'll be like the DC Warner Brothers series was good. They just shut it down for no freaking reason. So the
reason is because they didn't want to interfere with another project, probably. And this is what DC always does. They shoot themselves in the foot whenever they got something good going on.
Man, should I go deep on Swamp Thing? I don't know. But yeah, so Remo is going to need to use a little couch money for some tussin.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, tussin ain't the cure for COVID.
Yeah.
So let's start closing it out with make sure I'm covered it. So we covered most of the Marvel Voices thing. I still had to open up some of the boxes to figure out what was going on with some of these other characters.
Yo, what is up with the beads, bro?
Bead dome.
Oh, the big hair.
The
Look
bees.
like
hairstyle.
look like a what is that? A quintuplet scoop of ice cream.
Yeah, but if you've
Dip
worked in a certain industry, you know. Tax capital gains the way same way they
People
tax
fucking
income.
people will borrow against their stock, man. It doesn't work that way. And Bronze Age nerd caught it.
exactly. And I was trying to keep it children.
Oh, with Adam talking about specking on fucking like 40,000 times already.
She wasn't listening then.
We're long past
We
that.
hear it now.
No, Joe, I just suggest we don't need to be income taxed and be told by a certain person, like, hey, you owe us. Well, how much do I owe? You have to figure that out. And if you get it wrong, you go to jail.
That's because they can't force us, but then they'll be like,
you just need to figure it out right. And if you don't get it right, you're going to go to jail. But
we'll figure out a way to make sure.
What if I just want you guys to tell me how much I owe you every year? No, it doesn't work that way. It's a pretty messed up system, if you ask me.
I don't know. It seems to work out for me.
I mean, I'm a dad now. Ever since I got married and had a baby, it's been a little bit more beneficial for me. But if you're single, you're fucked by the IRS, and your tax bracket, as you make more money, just takes more money from you.
Well, I mean, that's why I say you should. They should. If you're single, you should probably be setting up yourself as a business. Find that.
Yeah, you should LLC yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then make sure that your business money does not mix with your personal money, and then all those other little things. Car payments. Fucking car gas, all that stuff should be worked off on something else, right? But once again, as a young person, you're not gonna freaking know all that shit unless you were like me and worked for the IRS when you're like 21. No, I was 20 when I worked for the IRS, and I was a tax advocate and working on behalf and trying to get 40-year-olds straight because they didn't.
My buddy would kick in their door when you couldn't get them straight. No kidding.
Yeah, So the worst thing was they would make the initial call, right? There's always the initial call, and they say, "Hey, this is what I got. All right, can you send me the receipts? I don't have any receipts. Okay, would you mind sending me the credit card that you used to make those things?" And back in the day, when you used to have the thing, right? It would take a while for the credit card companies to send us the shit, right? So once they get it, so 6-7 months later, you get the fucking shit, you go through it, and you're like, oh shit, this dude's actually going to make out. We owe him money, right? So if you can call a guy with good news, and motherfucker wouldn't answer the fucking phone, he wouldn't call us back, and none of that shit, right? So there's a lot of people that were scofflaws from the law don't know they're good. All they got to do is just sign a couple pieces of paper, and they're fucking good.
As long as there's no tax on the Spider-Man anal bead cover here, that's all that's important.
Hey, fellas,
I am God's special.
I'm gonna drop off. I'm gonna go play this game with this girl, man, before she.
You don't want to see the 1-100 Hella here?
I'll pass on the Hella. All right, y'all, man. It's been real, man. I'll let you go. Brother. All right, peace out.
Yep, Bloodline, Daughter Blade, Stephanie Hans, number 3. Children of the Black Sun by Blaze, number 4. It's got that Children of the Corn that feel. Fantastic Four, that Alex Ross. More of the Alex Ross 1-100.
Annihilus.
I love the color version of this one, the Alex Ross, which you're look like the big boss man. Predator. Star Wars High Republic. This one was the 1-25.
Go back real quick. So you know what I've noticed?
What's that?
The 20th Century Fox thing appearing on these books now. Oh.
Right.
All right. Interesting. Because that was also on the Planet of the Apes, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like all the properties. Alien will probably have it too, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, I remember them coming out with an announcement that they were going to push more of these titles out there, which was weird because they had already released titles that were Predator, Alien. They had already released Planet of the Apes covers and shit. So the fact that they felt the need to make that announcement, hey, we're gonna freaking do more, okay. And so the only difference right now is like what you pointed out is that they got the little marks on there. Storm Brotherhood of Mutants #3 looks like
I
a
swear
Torrin Clark.
he's done that art before, but
Oh yeah.
I still like Sway.
X-23 Deadly Regenesis.
In a bus,
Jillian.
because that roof is super high, but she's killing everybody, and the driver's like, "Oh my god, man, I'm just trying to drive," and the passenger in the front seat's like, "You're gonna die next, man," because it looks like she's about to stab him.
X-Men #21 Scotty Young. Griffin Galaxy's Most Wanted, a homage to Star Trek. Cinderella by Cinescope. Another Alex Ross with forget what the name of the dude is.
With Dancing Zemo.
Yeah. Captain America Cold War 125.
So Bucky Barnes has gone rogue again. This is the deal here. It's basically another Civil War, but just between Captain America and the other Captain Americas. It's a fight amongst Captain Americas. Maybe an appearance by a U.S. agent. No guarantees. I made that one up.
Pass. Star Wars Ewoks. Ryan
Finally.
Brown.
Yeah, and you see that fire in his eyes? This is one of the Ewoks from the dark side of Endor that Mel was talking about. When you land on the dark side in that game, and them cannibalistic Ewoks come up and eat you, bro.
Okay, I guess I gotta play this game then.
Murder bears. Is that a cocaine bear?
His nose passages do seem kind of big. Fuck.
Oh god, I'm laughing about that.
There's your Momoko.
Not mine.
Not my president.
But you know what? That was one of her better ones. I'll be honest. Absolutely, I'll be honest about that.
X-Men #1 facsimile.
I got
the what do you call it? The Man for World Tree issue #1 has dropped off like a fucking rock. It was hot for a couple weeks, but now that it's getting ready to release, I don't see a lot of freaking sales around this one.
Because it's got so many goddamn incentive or so many store exclusives.
Yeah, probably.
And that took a lot of fucking sales away from the regular covers, man. But there's incentive variants. Is it returnable?
Don't know. I'll have to check it out sometime.
Yeah. I mean, it's Image, so it's probably not, but sometimes they.
Yeah. There's your Frozen.
Yeah.
There's your Bill Sienkiewicz. And there's your homage to, I forget the name of the freaking title.
That's your 1/100, but it's your homage to Nice House on the Lake.
There you go. Tony Fleek's Dead Dark Ride. There's your Carnage 1 in 10.
Yeah.
There you go. There's another 1 in 100. This is the 1 in 100 of Doom. Don't forget, also coming out this week is Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the one with quite a thick Gamora.
Yeah, Derek Chew.
Right, and I think this one was the Virgin was the 1 in 50. There's your Scar.
That one again.
Second print. Yeah.
Talked about the Scar on FOC. It's a Dynamite book, so that might change some people's opinions on it. But I don't know. Look at what Darkwing Duck is doing. Like those Darkwing variants.
Are they doing well?
The high ratios, yes.
Hmm.
Because there wasn't the high ratio like a Del Otto on the Darkwing.
But here's the deal: we know for a fact that the most allocated is going to be the foil. There's like these $50 foils, $100 fucking foils. So
The Virgin limited variants.
yeah, so if somebody's buying
$49.99 suggested retail. We've talked about this. You actually try to hook it up when you can, but those are always the ones that are pushed back, delayed, and then all of a sudden, boom, they'll fucking get dropped, and you'll be like, holy shit, when did I order this? Oh my god, I ordered this fucking August of last year, and and it's crazy how that happens with these things because I don't know if it's quality control or just line in the printer.
I don't know.
Like, oh well, we got to push this one back because we got to get these other books out. But this is a Virgin variant that came out like 2 months ago. It's fine. They can wait another 2 months. Brutal shit. But still, this is one of the Disney ones. So I think this is different. I don't think they missed any of the Virgins, the limited Virgin variants for the Disney books so far.
Huh. Well, like you said, that Darkwing Duck was good. This one, I don't know about that. I don't know why they did Maleficent. I don't know how popular she was. So I'm trying to think of what other Disney villains. Cruella. They probably should have did Cruella.
Well, they're going to be doing more. This is. I don't think this is a one shot. I don't think this is an ongoing series. So what they're doing is they're doing a Disney villains, and they're finding the villain from the movie, and they're making a comic book and giving them a backstory or whatever. So it's kind of a chase for some Disney people.
Yeah. And then the last one that we're going to talk about is the second print Spider-Gwen joint that's coming out there. It looks okay. This one was a variant, Synth variant. And it's okay. So, but I guarantee it's probably going to be out there for cheap. Some conventions to keep an eye out for is that at the end of the month there is a Philadelphia Comic Con. There's a four-state Comic Con in the Maryland and Hagerstown, Maryland area. In Virginia, I thought this one was funny. It's called the Big Lick freaking Comic Con, which also has a Pokemon tournament. And there's also the Shenandoah Comic Toys and Show, which is happening in a couple weeks. And that, sir, is the end of the show. Started early. It was still
352, man.
Yeah. I was hoping to
240
get done earlier.
240.
Everybody was doing a WWE tapping out.
Well, I mean, I thought we were going to get on early and be done early, but it's cool. We took our time.
But I think we got into some good stuff. All right.
Only had to deal with a little bit of nonsense in the chat tonight. So thank you everybody in the live chat who behaved themselves, and I appreciate the cordial people who come by and engage with the team here.
Yeah, man. As always, please take it easy, man. These are just freaking funny books.
I mean, we're not racing cars for thousands of dollars. We're not stealing people's girlfriends. I'm retired from that. And you just chill the fuck out. Okay.
You got 10 days to do your taxes.
Yeah, I'm doing them this weekend, but damn, I forgot to go by the daycare that he was in VPK, but we did the extended hour, so we had to pay the extra, so he would have his coverage.
Take it off your taxes.
I know. I got to go by the daycare and get that information to be able to finish my taxes up. So I got a couple of things still holding me up, man. But yeah, family life and shit like that, man. That's the reason why, like, everything that I do, I try to do on the outside of being a family man. And I was gonna go to work, but I'm fucking too tired for that shit, man. It's 2:41 in the fucking morning, man. I gotta go to sleep, man, so I can like function tomorrow.
Sorry about that, man.
No, it's cool, and this is like last week, man. Like I can't remember. I think I missed last week because I passed the fuck out, and I think I woke up in the middle of the fucking morning and went to work, and just like, that happens sometimes. Sometimes I got to make the bucks.
Let's see. Marvel teases a fallen friend that will be featured in something. So no, we did not talk about that. I was not tracking it for.
I know
that will be featured in a new one shot. Learn who it was spotlight May 31st. So we don't even have a
A
cover
lot of
yet.
people are
Oh,
thinking it's going to be Rocket because it's taking place like right after the Guardians of the Galaxy movie comes into theaters, and everybody thinks that Rocket's going to die in there. I've got a different other opinion about what's going to happen.
Didn't he already die in the comics though?
Yes, he did. They killed him once,
Huh.
and then they brought him back. So
Hmm.
the death of Rocket Raccoon was
And
an actual storyline.
Yeah, in the horror movies, it's always either the black guy or the animal that dies first. Just saying. All right, so there we go. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us, and we'll try it again to do it next week. If you guys have any questions, just freaking hit up myself or Ultra. Definitely freaking swing over at some point to the secret variant where he went through the full list. I just did like maybe a few select items. And if you have any questions, definitely hit up your LCS first. If they can't help you out, definitely swing on by the freaking poll box. Love y'all and happy Easter, everybody.
For each man in his time.